We are underway a little bit early at Snohomish High School. Welcome everybody on STSPN.com. We are here for wrestling. It is the Panther Classic for 2018. Welcome to the Keith Gilbertson Sports and Fitness Center on the campus of Snohomish High School. Tom Lafferty along with a couple of state champions and their brothers too. Josh St. Marie will be down on the floor doing the interviews. Stephen St. Marie up here next to me in the broadcast booth. We're already underway, and Stephen, didn't take very long for the first bout to get done at 106. Jonathan Ruwana pinned very early.
Yeah, Tom, that was a really quick pin. It looked like he had that match all wrapped up. It was a quick takedown to a double arm bar. You can't really get out of a double arm bar when it's tight like that.
So Jonathan Ruwana of Woodinville gets the first win about 40 seconds in. What they're doing here, we're watching the 113 match right now on the championship mat in the center. Ethan Merrifield of Sumner, Jamie Gonzalez of Snohomish, and it's just a 2-0 lead here as we are in the first period of the 113 championship. What are you seeing so far in this one?
It looks pretty evenly matched. I'd say both wrestlers are trying to fill each other out before they really let loose. Some really good defense from both wrestlers here.
Three mats going on at the same time. We should mention to the right and to the left of the championship mat in the center, and they're doing a couple of thirds and fifths are being decided as well. But how tough is it when you're wrestling all day long?
Oh, man, this is a tough tournament. These wrestlers get up, I think weigh-ins around 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. Then they try to, get a little bit of something to eat to prepare for the day. But at this point in the day, these wrestlers, this is their 4th or 5th match of the day. And that's really tough. All the way since 9, 10 o'clock this morning to here about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, let's bring your brother into the conversation. Josh, you mentioned you were more nervous about doing this today on doing the telecast than you were when you used to wrestle in these things.
Oh, absolutely. Wrestling, you get out there and the nerves are gone within 10, 15 seconds, and you're doing what you always do, but this is a little bit different.
So we are watching here the 113 match.
A little controversial call here.
What'd you see?
So both wrestlers went out of bounds. They're just trying to decide if there's an escape as part of the release there.
We're going to go down. We're going to hear from Jonathan Ruwana, the wrestler that won at 106. What'd you see here on the this center match? Is there the coaches? When the coaches are up, you know something's going on.
Yep, and that's exactly right. So the one coach from Sumner, he'll go over and talk to the ref, talk about what he saw. Then the referee does a great job. He talks to his partner as well to see what they both saw before they make the call. And it looks like there was no reversal. They had called a reversal out of bounds, and the referees reversed that call, said there's no points. They went back down.
And I think we're gonna hear from Jonathan Ruwana, the winner at 106. We'll see if we get some audio here from Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I'm here with Jonathan Ruwana from Woodinville. How old are you, Jonathan?
15 years old.
And what weight class?
106.
All right, so most people have to cut weight. Did you have to cut weight today?
No, I'm 10 pounds under the weight class.
So you weighed in at what?
Like 96.2.
96.2. So all the other weight classes are jealous of you.
I'm usually eating in the weight room while they're like trying to spit and stuff.
Do people give you dirty looks?
Sometimes, yeah.
All right. Congratulations on your 42nd
Well,
win.
ask him about how far fast is that his fastest win?
All right, Jonathan, was that your fastest win?
No, I don't think so. I think last year I got a 17-second pin.
17-second pin. Did you do anything different today for this match than you do normally?
Not really, no. I just warmed up and then tried my best out there, so, yeah.
All right, well, good luck at the rest of the season at State. Thanks, Jonathan.
There you go. Jonathan Ruwana from Woodinville. 17. Did you get a 17 seconds in when you were wrestling?
No, I did not. Don't bring it up. Oh, that's impressive.
So, Jonathan Ruwana, thanks for being with us. We're still watching Ethan Merrifield of Sumner, Jamie Gonzalez of Snohomish in the 113 match. And already out to a 6-0 lead. We're in period number 3.
Yeah, it looks like Merfield has this match pretty wrapped up. He's been really controlling this whole round at least over Gonzalez of Snohomish. Gonzalez is doing a great job not making sure he's going to his back, but it looks like he just cannot quite get away here. you know, he's got about 49 seconds here, and then, you know, keep trying. But Murfield's doing a great job keeping him down.
Well, but let's go back to Jonathan Ruwana. He's 10 pounds under 106.
I want to know what the other guy weighed, right? If the other guy was that weight, I mean, that's impressive. That is impressive. It's impressive either way. This is not an easy tournament. These are some great teams here. This is later in the season where people are, you know, healthy, they're in shape. That was an impressive win. Very decisive. Okay.
Say that again, Josh.
105 pounds, 0.7. So he's got 10 pounds on him.
Wow. Okay, we're still wrestling here. 21 seconds to go, a 6-1 lead.
Yep,
for
Gonzalez
Ethan
got the
Merrifield.
escape. Yep, he's going to go pretty hard, I'm sure, to try and score. Oh, Ethan's in on that single leg.
And just about that time, the official standing in the way. Okay, now he's moved to the side so we can see better. These guys, you're wrestling 4 or 5 matches in a day. Aren't you?
Yeah.
By here, aren't you out of gas?
By here, you're tired. You're also nervous. And as you saw, they both are pretty tired. They both worked pretty hard.
So Ethan Merrifield with a 6-1 win. So in the 113 from Sumner, Merrifield with the win over Jamie Gonzalez of Snohomish. And so that will bring us to 120. And they do kind of a cool thing here. It's not kind of cool. It's really cool. As they turn off all the lights and they bring it out, it's kind of like being part of WWE, isn't it, Josh?
Absolutely. This was my favorite tournament to wrestle when I was in high school because they turn the lights off and you feel like you're running into the octagon. But before they turn the lights off, they do award the medals in between each round. So that's what we're going through right now. We're awarding the 106-pound medals.
And again, the winner of the 106 is Jonathan Ruwana of Woodinville. Logan Basham of North Salem finishes in second place. And those will be your winners. And we'll be ready for the 113 coming up here. And that is it, and we'll be set to go. They'll turn off the lights here in just a moment, and we'll be introducing the 120s coming out.
Yep, we'll have Isaac Lopez from Burlington, Edison, and Pablo Martinez from Linden.
They wrestle each other both from the Northwest Conference, so they wrestle each other throughout the year. Isaac Lopez of Burlington Edison finished 6th last year at the 2A 113. He's up to 120 now. Right now he's ranked number 2 in the state in the 2A. And Isaac Lopez coming out onto the mat. And then Pablo Martinez from Linden will be heading out. We see him on the screen here in the near corner. So those will be the wrestlers in the championship match. And then they'll introduce the wrestlers from the other 2 matches that'll be going on for 3rd and 5th place going on at the same time. But Isaac Lopez, Burlington Edison, Pablo Martinez from Linden.
Man, what a show here, Tom. When they turn out those lights and that spotlight, man, the chills running through your veins as you're running out, doing the stare down of the opponent. You know, there's so much that happens before the match even starts that really determines the mental edge that these wrestlers have.
You know, we were talking before the match got underway, talking about how much is mental, how much is physical.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a hugely mental sport. I'd say it's about 90% mental and about 50% physical.
I like that little Yogi Berra here.
It's a pretty tough sport. Hey, both these guys are coming out really hard, really fast, really trying to set the tone.
Pablo Martinez in the green with his back to us now, and then from the Tigers, Burlington Edison, that's Isaac Lopez.
Hey, looking at these 2 wrestlers, I think we're going to see a throw. Both these guys are going upper body, really trying to set up. They're both strong. We might not if they're both good enough upper body, but it'd be really exciting to see a throw. But either way, these guys are scrambling.
Talk about what's a throw.
So a throw is where you're both starting from your feet. You're locking something up like what we're seeing right now. You're just trying to jack him up. And the other guy, Pablo Martinez, is not letting him. You saw his hips go back. So both these guys know what they're doing. So
if you think there's going to be a throw, he does too, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
You're playing defense?
Yes, exactly. Defense, lower weight. So, yeah, and it looks like we're going to see some fun scrambles. These guys are quick. Oh, my goodness. Oh, little scramble. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. This is great. This is a great scramble. Still nothing. They're going for ankles.
They'll grab whatever's available, right?
Look at that.
Still no advantage?
Nothing. No one has anything. No one has clear control, and that's the big deal here.
You can see the official with the hands out like, no, nothing yet.
Yeah, because people get excited. Parents get excited. Coaches get excited. Referees say, nope, nothing. They blew the whistle. Now they got to untie.
So potentially dangerous, is that what they say? Or what, just a deadlock?
That might, stalemate. Stalemate, deadlock, saying, hey, nothing's really going on. Let's get a fresh start.
14 seconds to go in the first period here between Isaac Lopez of Burlington Edison, Pablo Martinez of Linden. No score. They've just been going at it.
Yep.
Down to 3 seconds to go.
Oh, quick. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. No, and that is the end of the period. Let's go down to Josh. He's with Ethan Merrifield of Sumner. Got a 6-1 win over Jamie Gonzalez. Let's talk with the wrestler right now, Josh.
All right, I've got Ethan here. How'd you feel going into the match today?
I was pretty nervous. I mean, coming out with the spotlight and stuff, so it's my really, I guess, first time being in finals and first time wrestling out in front of everybody like that. So it was pretty nerve-wracking, but I mean, it was fun once you got out there and started wrestling. So.
What grade are you?
I'm a freshman, so yep.
Is this your first tournament win?
This is my first tournament win, yeah. Placed at Doc, I think it's Doc Herod in Auburn, but this is my second time placing and first win, so pretty.
Congratulations. Were you nervous going out there?
Very, very, yeah. It was, with coming out with the spotlight and stuff, I mean, it's fun because that's what wrestling is. I mean, you're out there by yourself representing your team, but first time doing it, pretty scary.
How long did it take for those nerves to go away?
Once that whistle blew, it's go time, so it was pretty quick.
All right, well, congratulations on your win, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, Josh. With Ethan Merrifield, the whistle sounds, it's go time.
It's go time. That's exactly right, and that's the life of a wrestler. So, hey, while they were talking, Isaac Lopez got the takedown. They both started neutral. Both, kind of same what we saw first period. But Ethan was able to get in on a single leg and work him down to the mat.
Seems like a little less energy now here in the second period.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're both waiting. Isaac's got a really good arm bar right here. So Pablo's doing a great job just not letting – okay, now he's got that far half. Now he's in trouble. This is a tough position to be. Martinez does not want to be here. Okay. So this is potentially dangerous, what you brought up earlier, Tom. So referee's
what did he have? Yeah.
So the referee's taking care of the wrestler, making sure nothing's going to get hurt. At this point, if the arm goes past 90-degree angle on the back, that's when they call it. And that's a textbook. That's the right call there to make.
But the coach.
The coach, of course, does not like it. Absolutely. And as you can see, he's on the opposite side that the ref was. So he, of course, the coach didn't have the best view. And that is okay. He's fighting, standing up for his guys, and that's good. As he should. And both these wrestlers are fine, but in this league, these referees are taking care of these athletes. These are student athletes, and they're not in the NFL here.
Now, in a championship match like this, they'll have two officials, right? And then they'll talk.
Yes. Yep.
And just to see what'd you see?
Yep.
And my guess is the one official, the second official, the secondary guy, isn't going to say anything until he's asked. It's like an umpire.
That's absolutely right.
You don't tell me until I ask you.
That's absolutely right. And we've seen some really good control here. Okay, so they called potentially dangerous, but it looks like the coach said, hey, was there any points there? Right? And so that's
for the near fall.
That's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So in that case, they stopped him while they were on the back, but he had already accrued 2 near fall points, and so he just got awarded that. Okay, Pablo Martinez coming back, but it's but didn't quite get the reversal, so now he's in trouble here. Now he's in trouble. Short time.
Lopez from Burlington Edison on top here. Martinez from Linden on his back, and there's the pin. There is the pin. And so from Burlington Edison, Isaac Lopez, 6th in the state last year at 113. And they get the win here. He's number 2 ranked 2A wrestler coming in at 120. So that is Isaac Lopez with the win.
And those are 2 really good wrestlers. I think we just saw Pablo Martinez. He was really trying to make a reversal, make something happen there, and he got in bad position. And Isaac Lopez was good enough to punish him for it.
So that's the 120 winner. We're waiting for the. We just got done down in the other corner here with the. We'll give you those results as we go along here. We're going to 126 coming up here in a moment. This should be a good one. Parker Hardy coming in, finished 4th last year at the 4A and the 113 level, coming in as the number 2 ranked wrestler in 4A at 120, but he's wrestling up to 126. Now what's the difference? Are you wrestling up to 126 today, or are you wrestling at your regular weight? What's the rule of thumb?
You know that's I don't know quite the strategy on why he'd be wrestling up to 126. Sometimes it's to match with other players on your team, other wrestlers on your team, and so yeah, I'm not too sure why he's up at that weight, but if he's already in the finals, then he's doing just fine at that weight class, I'd say.
So that will be coming up here. They're awarding the medals down here on the stand to our left for the 113s, which we had already talked to. Ethan Merrifield won at 6-1 over Jamie Gonzalez of Snohomish at the 113 level. 120 just over, 126 coming up. We're at the Panther Classic. And we've got the guys on the podium. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with our next match. You're watching the Panther Classic from Snohomish on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Match, and the championship will be Parker Hardy out of Glacier Peak at the Panther Classic. Parker Hardy, the number 2 ranked 4A 120 wrestler in the state of Washington. He'll be taking on Davis Cook from Burlington Edison. He's from Burlington, so up in the Northwest Conference. Burlington Edison, a 2A, so a 2A wrestler and a 4A wrestler. But in wrestling, it doesn't matter really the classification, does it?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Which is so awesome about this sport. This is the only time these wrestlers will probably see each other all year. So what a great opportunity to beat up on someone else that's not in your conference. Get some new competition in here.
We're at the Panther Classic for 2018. We are live today here at the Keith Gilbertson Sports and Fitness Center at Snohomish High School. I'm Tom Lafferty, Stephen St. Marie alongside, Josh St. Marie handling things down at floor level. We're going to be talking with Isaac Lopez of Burlington Edison, who got a pin just a couple of minutes ago in the 120-pound classification. We will get that interview coming up here. But right now, Parker Hardy, Glacier Peak, Davis Cook of Burlington Edison. Parker Hardy is a good wrestler.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to see this match. Looks like he's really controlling the center of the mat, running his opponent off. Okay, looks like he's wrapping stuff up here. He just looks calm, cool, collected. Look, takedown, he knows what he wants. He's putting him back up on his feet. That's where he feels comfortable.
Interesting, at 126, tall and lanky.
Yeah, these guys do look skinnier than the 120-pounders. But, again, bodies come in all shapes and sizes.
So when you wrestle, where'd you usually wrestle at? Like when you won the championship, where were you at?
So I was a 135-pounder.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm about 5'5", 5'6", and I had to wrestle a couple 6'1", 6'2" guys that were tall and lanky.
What do? You go out there and go, how's the weather up there? Do a little bit of that?
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny. You know, it's I have to really travel long distance to go find the legs and to run through those. So different strategies for different body types for sure.
Is it really? Now, but what if a guy comes out that's I'll say fire plug?
Yeah,
you know,
well, fire hydrant.
Well, you're kind of in the fire hydrant area too. Height-wise, is a height or body type more?
So length is something that's used a lot in fighting and in wrestling, UFC, reach and length.
Right.
And so as you see, both these wrestlers, they start away from each other, and then they're starting to put their hands out. Once you can put your hand on your opponent, you can start to move their head, move their hips, move them around, and really control. So getting that control, that extra foot of arm length makes a big difference. So, you just got to know what tools you have and how to use it.
This is Parker Hardy of Glacier Peak, Davis Cook of Burlington Edison.
Yep, looks like they had a little timeout. A headgear fell off, and the coaches might be talking about the time that's coming.
Let's go down to Josh. He is with the 120-pound champion. That's Isaac Lopez of Burlington Edison. Josh.
Yeah, Isaac, how you feeling today?
I'm really good. My shots were coming out pretty good, and I was happy about it.
Yeah, you were up that whole time, and then all of a sudden, your coach wanted to go talk to the referee. What are you doing? You're having to stand there for a little while. What are you thinking? What are you doing during that time?
Well, I didn't expect him to be as strong as he was, and after I found out how strong he was, I had to switch up my game plan a little bit. I had to work different moves, and it just gave me a little bit of time to reflect on what was going on, what I needed to do differently.
And then you came out and pinned him pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
Is that your partner out there wrestling right now?
Yeah, that's one of my practice partners.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck going after the state title this year. Thanks.
There you go. Thank you, Josh and Isaac Lopez of Burlington Edison. We're watching Parker Hardy. Stefan, you've been watching this one. How's it going?
Yeah.
3-3 tie.
Oh, interesting. I missed how the other 3 points got there.
3-3 tie with 16 seconds to go, opening period at 1:26.
Yeah. I missed that how they got the both points, but at least they're tied and they're on their feet, which is how they started. So there's still a lot of wrestling to do. Okay, a little caution there. Looks like Parker.
False start.
Yeah,
offense.
false start. Exactly. Yep. And you're allowed 3 of those before you give up any points. So they call it a caution, and on the third one, you start to pay for it.
Really, 3?
Yeah. Yep.
Seems like it'd be like 1, and then we're starting to do some points.
Yeah, I would think so too. But sometimes there's miscommunications, and they do allow 3 kind of false starts. If it seems malicious, they'll probably jump the gun on a different call there.
Strike 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 strikes and you're giving up points. So here we go. Second period gets underway. 1:26. Parker Hardy, Glacier Peak, Davis Cook, Burlington Edison tied at 3.
This is a good match. As you could tell, they're even, they're tied. They're both good, feel comfortable on the mat. Okay, Parker Hardy got the escape.
So Parker Hardy picks up the point. So a 4-3 lead for Hardy from GP against Burlington Edison's Davis Cook.
I really would have thought, given these stats, that Parker Hardy would come in here and own this match, but both these opponents are working really hard, seem to be evenly matched. This is a fun match. Yeah.
1:20 to go here in the second period. Yeah, they really are even, aren't they?
They are. And it's interesting. So in wrestling, there's a big stat where whoever gets the first takedown sometimes, writes that destiny that they are going to win that match. And the guy who got taken down starts to believe that, oh, man, this guy's good. Well, Davis Cook hasn't shown any sign of that mental, he's not taking any mental breaks here. He doesn't at all think that he's not in it. So both these guys are working hard, and we're going to see a good third period here.
Now we just had a 2-point takedown there. And that increases the lead for Parker Hardy to 6-3. Hardy in the blue from Glacier Peak. Davis Cook in the darker blue, the navy blue and gray from Burlington Edison.
Yeah, about 20 seconds left here in the second period. So this is an interesting position. Davis Cook is kind of in control, but he needs to actually get away from here to get his 1-point escape because Parker Hardy still has the 2-point takedown. So Davis actually needs to. He should be running away right now, trying to get a point out of this because.
Well, in this, you're not running anywhere.
No, not going anywhere, not getting any points. So, oh, what? He's giving them the escape. That's impressive.
But you know what? The kid that comes over with a towel because they don't let the buzzers go off because there's so many things going on. Hit the referee in the back.
That's right.
And it seemed like it went an extra second, maybe 2 seconds.
So
and I think that's what the Glacier Peak coach is saying.
Yeah,
Are you sure that this didn't happen after you got hit in the back by the towel?
And you know, because of that towel, there is room for error because the referee cannot be looking at the clock if he's looking at what points are being scored. He might also be talking about why there was an escape given. Maybe that's a newer rule this year, but typically escapes aren't given unless people are on their feet. The referee might say
and totally separated.
And totally separated. Now the referee might be arguing loss of control.
Josh, what do you got?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It could be loss of control, but I didn't see any instance where Parker Hardy lost control of Davis.
Now he was underneath, but he still had a leg. He still, he wasn't down. It wasn't a reversal.
And Davis didn't necessarily gain control himself.
Nope.
So I didn't.
So they're going with that. That was a loss of control, and Davis Cook got that 1 point. So now it's a 2-point match here. And Davis Cook chose bottom, so he is now working to get an escape, and he's got 2 minutes left to do it. Oh.
We're in the third period.
Parker Hardy's got a cradle, racking up near fall.
So at least 3 probably.
Yep.
The official right down in there, seeing if there's going to be a pin. If there's not, he's going to
3 points.
Yeah, 3-point near fall. That'll push it out now to 9-4 lead.
Yeah, big spread now.
Yeah, not insurmountable, but now you got to hurry.
Yep. Yeah, it's go time. He's running out of time.
So Parker Hardy from Glacier Peak with the lead.
Yeah, Parker Hardy's in a great spot. He's in the lead. He doesn't need to return him to the mat here. He can kind of hold on to this leg, kind of run the clock out.
So the official standing there with his arm out.
Okay.
Now.
So he's arm out, meaning red has control, but he just gave the stall call warning. So he could understand. He saw what I was saying. Parker was stalling. He was trying to burn that clock, and these referees want to see action. So that was a good call by the referee. You don't want those wrestlers to just hang out there and stall.
So back down they go. 9-4 lead for Parker Hardy from Glacier
He's
Peak.
picking up some more near fall here. Oh, scramble.
Scramble and a reverse.
Yep, 3 near fall, should be 2 reverse. 30 seconds, and Davis Cook's got to go if he's going to try and I think he needs a pin here to have a chance.
Well, that's it, right? Now you have to just push everything into the middle of the table.
That's right.
All in. But this is strange looking.
Yep. Just kind of tied up. He should call stalemate pretty soon if nothing moves. Okay, movement.
15 seconds to go.
And at this point in the match, these guys are tired. 10 seconds, they go out of bounds. So we need to see a 10-second fall. Otherwise, Parker Hardy is going to take this one. Good shot by Parker. Great. Oh, I love that. Scoring at the end even when you're winning. Even the crowd saying, that was 2.
Well, you end up with a whole bunch of referees up here in the peanut gallery, too. So Parker Hardy with the win from Glacier Peak over Davis Cook out of Burlington Edison. So Parker Hardy, who we mentioned, 4th in the 4A at 113 last year. You got to think he'll make his way back to the Mat Classic again. We'll talk about Mat Classic here in just a little bit. As we're getting now set for the 132-pound match. And they're going to be giving away the 120. The awards over on the podium as they're going to do that. And as they go ahead.
Oh, this is always a fun time, of course. You know, you see the parents getting their cameras ready and kids get to stand up on the podium. This is always an exciting time. I love this sport with the whole thing with the music and the spotlight to this time to recognize all the hard work that these wrestlers have put in. And it's really cool to see.
And these are guys you see all the time, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a lot of tournaments, you're going to see the same guys.
You will, yeah. And in this one, like I was saying earlier, you know, this is one where we have some 2A, 3A, 4A high schools here. So this is a chance to get some cross-division opponents. But yes, for Snohomish and Glacier Peak, you know, as neighbors here, you know, I'm sure those guys see each other a lot, and then the other conferences as well.
So that's the 120-pound winner is Isaac Lopez, and we're getting set for the 132s will be coming out. That'll be Will Rush of Arlington, Josh Wren of Snohomish as they make their way out onto the floor. You know, they keep track of team points, but really, is this, well, let me ask you, is this an individual tournament or is this a team tournament?
Hey, you know, Tom, that's a great question. It's a little bit of both. And it depends on who you ask. This is such an individual sport, which is what makes it so amazing. Because, you know, if you don't put the work in through the season and you go out on the mat, it's going to show. You know, everyone is seen, especially now in the finals. We have spotlights on these two wrestlers. These guys have worked so hard. They've gotten to this point. They've worked all day to get here. It's an individual tournament. Now, of course, it's a team sport, whereas you see the guys going for third and fifth. They need to win to add more points to their team for a team title. I'm sure they're bummed that they lost, and I'm sure they're bummed that they're not in that spotlight, but they can still take pride in a team victory, team title, team sports, and that team score there.
Well, and I would think on your Thursday night matchup when it's Snohomish against Monroe, that's more team than individual.
I would say so, yes.
Because you get to the end, you go, okay, we got 2 left, and we're down by 3. If we can get a pin here and get bad points, more than today.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's a great point. And actually in our finals, we have Arlington and Snohomish. These guys, I'm sure, have seen each other in a duel. And so, you know, this might be the second time. They might see each other a couple of times this year. But you're right. So, yeah, at this point, it's a little bit more of an individual sport at this tournament.
So Will Rush of Arlington, Josh Wren of Snohomish. We're going to hear from Parker Hardy here in just a little bit, as he is was the winner of 126. We're at 132 here at the Panther Classic at Snohomish High School. Will Rush of Arlington in the blue, Josh Wren of Snohomish in the red, and he's on the bottom now in this one with 1:09 to go in the first period.
Yeah, a real quick start for both these guys. We're already at 4-2. Will Rush has the upper hand right here, and he's flattening out Josh Wren. Really putting a dominant performance here on top, looking for a turn.
Yeah, that's Josh Wren on top. Well, a sit out there, but he didn't. Wren is quick.
Yeah, Wren's quick. He's got some good ties. Wren needs to control those hands. Look, he's got that one hand. Now he needs to take his hips, come up to his feet. Oh, okay, perfect. Got that escape.
So 1 point escape. So now the 4-3 lead for Will Rush of Arlington here, the 132 championship in the 2018 Panther Classic.
Yep, Rush went right in for another shot and had an opportunity here to put Wren on his back, and he's going for points. He's got about 10 seconds to make this a pin, otherwise they're going their second period.
Down to 5 seconds to go. A 6-3 lead for Rush.
And it looks like it's not going to happen. All right, we're going to see some more wrestling. This is great.
Going to the second period now. A 9-3 now, as they gave him some near fall points. And now if you're out there as a wrestler and you see that guy that's coming in with a towel, you know, like, okay, we're almost done.
Absolutely, yeah. If I'm on bottom, which I don't want to be, but if I'm on bottom, I definitely want to go into that second and third period. So I'm going to hold out at least, short time is what people yell, short time. And if I'm on top, I go into, you get a little intense. You want to finish it because you don't want to go in that second, third period. Make sure you have all the energy you can.
How much information are you getting from – I've been going to wrestling matches for years, and the coaches in the corners are screaming their guts out. You hear it?
You know, man, that's tough.
You've been on the coaching end too.
Yeah, coaching end, athlete end, and so usually you get used to one or two voices from the practice room, the countless thousands of hours that you've been with these coaches. But at the same time, some wrestlers I've talked to, all they can hear is their dad in the audience or their aunt saying, "Come on, Timmy, get off your back." And so it is.
And that's in the Tacoma Dome full of people, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So every wrestler's a little bit different, and they have the headgear on too. What that does is that protects their ears from cauliflower ear, from any bruising and damage to their ears. So in that, the headgear that they have right there, it's really extremely hard to hear.
Will Rush of Arlington out to a 10-3 lead over Josh Wren of Snohomish.
Yeah, Will Rush is really putting on a clinic out there. He knows what he's doing on top. When you see Josh Wren and he's fully on his belly, you know that that's a tough rider on top.
Refereeing this one is Sean O'Donnell of Sean O'Donnell's Restaurant. He's been refereeing a long time.
He had.
We are in the second period with 40 seconds to go. Josh is going to see if he can hunt down Parker Hardy of Glacier Peak to get a couple of words with him. The 126 championship here. It's 11-3 now.
Well, that'll be great. Josh wrestled at Glacier Peak, and I think it was around 126. Either that or 132, somewhere in that little guy weight class. Did pretty well for them there. Won a state title.
Yeah, you guys are interesting story. You won a state championship here at Snohomish. Your brother wins one out at Glacier Peak.
That's right, yeah. So when
and you never moved.
And we never moved. So how does that work, right? So they built the new high school, Glacier Peak, and I would have gone there, but I was the last year that they didn't split our class. So I graduated at Snohomish High School. If I was a year younger, I would have graduated at Glacier Peak and would have wrestled for them.
And you would have been proud to do it.
And I would have been proud to do it.
But instead, you're a Panther.
Yep. So Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, we still have that rivalry going on. Forever cemented.
Okay, we got the pictures are done. Now we're going to go down and do some video here. Let's go down to Josh with the Parker Hardy from Glacier Peak. Hey, it's another Grizzly. Two Grizzlies. Josh.
Yep, Parker from Glacier Peak High School. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So going into that match, did you prepare any differently?
No, same mindset the whole time.
What's that mindset?
Be consistent. Really looking for having the same routine and same mentality if it was wrestling a great guy versus wrestling someone not as capable, but having the same mindset going into every single match.
So at the end of round one, it was 3-3, and then you kind of built up your lead a little bit. Did you change your mindset through the match? Did you readjust anything?
I just got a really good feel at the beginning of the first round and knew that I could score and kind of just got into a better groove after the first round.
All right, so it took a minute for us to get out here because you're in the back talking with Coach Mossberg. Did he have anything of note to say?
Just got it was 12-5, which was a 7-point lead, and need 8 points to get a major. And that last takedown at the end that I needed to get would have gave us an extra team point. So it's really about the team and trying to get that last point so we can get ahead in the team race.
All right. Well, congratulations on your title and good luck this year in the postseason.
Thank you.
Thanks, Parker.
Thanks.
There you go, Parker Hardy, and right there, you get one more point. We get one more team point, right?
That's absolutely right. Yep, and that's what he was thinking about.
Josh, were you the same way? Team, individual, it's really a balancing act.
It really is, and I was never good at thinking about the team.
Really?
What a jerk.
No, I cared, but if you're tired, it's really difficult to push yourself just to get an extra team point. If you got the win, it's difficult to do, and so it's fun to see the teams that have such camaraderie that they're going to push themselves and care for every last team point to get that team victory.
Here is a big lead for the Will Rush of Arlington over Josh Wren of Snohomish with 21 seconds to go in the third period. 13-4 lead.
Yeah, Josh Wren needs a pin here. He's been on top for a little bit, but he has not been able to get a turn here. It looks like Will Rush is able to just fend him off, and and run that clock down for his title.
So an 8-point lead here, or a 9-point lead here now, and then that's it. That will be the final. Will be 13-4 for Will Rush of Arlington, and that does give you an extra team point.
It does, yep. That's a major decision. Once you pass over 8 points ahead, you go from, well, in a duel, you go from 3 points for your team to 4 points for your team. That extra point really adds up. In a tournament, they calculate them slightly different, but it is an advantage.
Well, and Josh is right. When you're on your
Oh, yeah.
You're out there, you're out of gas, it's the third period. You're not thinking, boy, if I get one more point. You're like thinking, I really need to drink a Gatorade and go rest.
Absolutely.
Take a nap.
And these wrestlers have been at it all day. So it is so tough to balance that individual team aspect. I would say the best thing about the team sport is that those wrestlers have their teammates cheering them on at this point. They know they're supported, their families, their communities, their coaches, their teammates, and that makes this such a fun team sport.
They're going to be presenting the awards for 126. We're going to step aside for a break. You are watching the 2018 Panther Classic from Snohomish right here on STSPN.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife, Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
So here we go. Getting set for the 138-pound match at the Panther Classic in Snohomish. Nice crowd on hand. You know, talk about moms and dads and wrestling moms and dads. It's different than basketball and football moms and dads.
It is. Those parents go through so much. I'm not a parent yet, but to see a little one, right, being attacked by another high schooler, and these high schoolers are ripped. These guys have worked so hard all year. And
well, they're playing for keeps.
They're playing for keeps as well, and they got moms and dads on their side. They're yelling and screaming, and so to see your little one get attacked by another person that's trying to score points, that's a lot to go through. I know my mom cried so many times, and not sad crying, but just that scared intensity throughout that whole season.
Well, and besides the scared for your little kid, your little Stefan, how much time you're devoting?
Oh, absolutely.
You just got a Saturday by going to a tournament like this.
Yeah. I don't understand why my parents went to all of those tournaments. That's a huge sacrifice to be here, and those are the heroes of this sport. That support. And actually, one cool thing in high school, my parents, I don't know how it got started. I think with my older brother Andrew, my dad made burritos for the whole team for after weigh-in. We would have these egg and sausage burritos, and then these like shredded beef burritos. And after weigh-in, we got one of each of those burritos. And he did it once, and so then the whole rest of the team expected it the next weigh-in. And so throughout my whole 4 years at Snohomish High School, I think at Josh, when he went to his years at Glacier Peak as well, my dad was on the hook for making those burritos for every duel, every tournament, after every weigh-in. I had this huge cooler, this little hot box of burritos, keeping them warm. So
that's called tradition.
That's called tradition, yeah, but a huge sacrifice nonetheless.
Brantley Stupi of Arlington, Brad Clay of Decatur are out here for the 138 championship for the Panther Classic here at Snohomish High School. And we are underway at 138 now. You just said, and the guy that's attacking your little boy is ripped. This is where you start getting into the ripped guys, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. 138, this is about the size I would have been. It was 135. They changed the weights since I've been in high school. But, yeah, these guys
all those many years ago.
All those many years ago, yes. Yes. I think these guys were born in the year 2000. So, yeah, I feel old here.
So here is Brantley Stupi of Arlington down already. They said both out of bounds.
Oh, they're taking that. Nope. They gave the takedown to Brad Clay there. So perfect. He got the takedown, and then they were out of bounds right away, so then they come back to the center for a restart.
Arlington in the Class 3A, Decatur out of Federal Way in the Class 4A. We'll hear from the winner of the 132s. We'll rush here with Josh down on the floor here in just a little bit. We're in the first period here, a 2-1 lead for Brad Clay of Decatur.
So I don't know if you've been keeping track, but I've seen a couple Arlington guys out there the last couple of rounds. And what's really cool about the sport of wrestling, you're only as good as your practice partners. So when you get to a finals and you see a couple of guys, you know that if one of them's in the finals, his buddy, either a little size bigger, a little size smaller, they're also in the finals because they are just at it. They're going before school, after school. They're going to wrestling camps. They're watching film. You know, they're students of the sport, and they're pushing each other. So that's really exciting to see when you see back-to-back teammates like that. You know that they're getting after it in the practice room, and they're really doing it right to accomplish their goals.
How much, we still call it that, how much film do you watch on an opponent?
I would say it's different for every coach. Every coaching style is a little bit different. I was fortunate to have an excellent coach, Rob Zabel, here at Snohomish High School, and Kevin Judkins as well.
They're sitting right down there, by the way.
Yeah, and they're here working. And so those guys would film, and we would go during our lunch breaks, and we'd go to one of their classrooms, and we would go watch film.
Are you watching you, or are you watching the guy that you're going to – nowadays on Huddle and all those things, you can see your opponent.
Yeah, you might have opponents. So back to wrestling being an individual sport, I would say that I watched myself, and I would look for flaws that I could fix. You know, these are things that I can change. You know, one thing that Mark Perry would always say is control the controllables. Mark Perry's the athletic director here at Snohomish High School. Control the controllables.
Long-time wrestling guy, though.
Long-time wrestling guy, oh, yeah. And football coach as well. And, you know, I cannot control the size, speed, strength of my opponents, but I can control what I do. And so I was always watching film for what I was doing, what I can fix. And then I would watch film for other guys, the best in the state, to see what were they doing differently, what were they doing that I wasn't doing, and how can I improve. So film was a great tool for me. I definitely would recommend it for anyone else who's looking to improve.
Here it's a 4-4 tie between Brantley Stupi and Brad Clay. Stupi from Arlington, Clay from Decatur.
Yeah, pretty evenly matched here. Both guys are getting after it. I don't see anyone who's mentally conceited. Both these guys are tough, believing they are both in it to win it at this point.
Just underway in the second period, tied at 4. You know, you get that under that arm and try to flip the guy over, but he puts out the other arm, right?
Exactly. He's blocking that hip. Yep. That's an arm bar. And the bottom guy as well, Brad Clay, he's using his legs, you see in the back, to not let Stupi get on the outside. But as you can see, Stupi of Arlington has got the arm bar. He's really working. This is a tough position to be, and there's plenty of time on the clock. This is not a good spot for Brad Clay.
Minute 15 to go in the second period.
Oh, yep, you're seeing him get out, and we might see a reversal here.
I would think we're going to have 3-point near fall, and then we're going to have.
Nope, no reversal yet.
Really?
Yep. Stupi got in on that leg right away. He still is enough in control where there's no points here for Brad Clay.
No escape yet.
Nope, no escape. Nope. And as you see, there will be no takedown. Even though they went to their feet, since there was no escape, there's no takedown again for Brantley. Even though he took him down, he has just regained control, or maintained control, I should say.
Both of them pretty much out of bounds.
They are. The referee will just use his discretion there as they're getting closer to that head table.
So, Stupi of Arlington is still on top, right? Because he never.
Exactly. He's
never
still on top.
Escape.
Yep. Never escape. Never change of control. Even though we saw a lot of funk. We saw a lot of the funk. A lot of scrambling. About 20 seconds left here.
So Brantley Stupi.
We might see a big burst of energy from Brad Clay here. He's trying to get a point before the time runs out.
No takedown again because there was never an escape, right?
Exactly, yep. 3 seconds to go. And nothing, yep. So we're going to go into the next period.
We're waiting for Will Rush of Arlington. Hopefully get a word with him. But talk about, we talked about the athletes out in the hall talking to the coaches.
Yeah.
How much do you listen to those guys? To that, maybe not on the mat, but talking about afterwards. Just quickly, here's our thoughts on it.
Yeah, so, at the end of the day, there's only so many times that coaches can give their athletes advice. As parents or coaches know, sometimes your kids don't listen, right? At the end of the day here, really the only advice or talk that we hear is, hey, great job, good work today. Whether they won or lost, good job. Hey, now let's focus on getting better. You really can't get too confrontational at this point because there's so much time between now. It's Saturday. They're going to have tomorrow off. Getting to the practice on Monday. 2 full days of really recovery before they get back in the practice room. So it might be a quick word. Sometimes they'll say, hey, you got tired. Let's work on our endurance this next week. Or, hey, you really need to work on bottom. You weren't able to escape. And, if we see this opponent later at state, we want to, what can we do next time we wrestle this guy? And those are the discussions that people are having.
Now, that would be the case. Will Rush and Josh Wren in the previous, both in the Class 3A. You could see him again at the district. You could, in fact, both in the same league. You could see him next Thursday.
Exactly. Yep. Districts. You could see him at regionals. You can see him at state. And I did that as well. I saw the same guy in finals for districts, regionals, and state, and wrestle him each time. And I beat him. Same exact guy. And
who was it?
Josh Monson of Lake Stevens. We wrestled. First time we wrestled, it was about, I think, 12-13. Very high-scoring match. I beat him by a point. And then the second time we wrestled, it was 3-2. Very low-scoring. We both worked on our defense that week. And then he watched film. He did everything right. He was excellently coached, and he beat me in the state finals by a bigger margin. I want to say like 13-6 or so. So there's so much tweaking that goes on at this point in the season of what can you do so that, when it's all said and done, you want to finish strong.
Here it's an 8-4 lead for Brantley Stupi of Arlington.
Pretty good control, but Brad Clay's he's not done. You just saw him going on that shot. He didn't come up with the takedown. I think they're considering giving it to, Stupi of Arlington has that takedown.
So that moves it out to 10-4 with just 20 seconds to go into the third period.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to see 2 Arlington guys back-to-back do really well, and I'm sure they're proud of each other and their teammates. They're going to celebrate, maybe with some milkshakes after they don't have to weigh in. That's what we were doing. But we didn't tell our coaches.
No. Well, and I know there are safeguards about you're still losing weight, right?
Oh, absolutely.
People are cutting weight. That's just the way it is.
Yep. The sport's gotten better about making sure kids are hydrated. So it's a lot better than when I was going through and even before as well. So
thud.
Yeah.
There was a thud there.
There was an attempt for a throw there. Looks like it just resulted in the escape here for Brad Clay, but not enough time to really do to get 5 points in 1 second. That's not possible.
No. So 1 second, that's it. End of the period, end of the match. And that will be Brantley Stupi of the Arlington Eagles will pick up the win. And he will beat Brad Clay of Decatur. So back-to-back winners for Arlington. Will Rush of Arlington at 132, Brantley Stupi of Arlington at 138 pounds. We haven't heard from Will Rush yet. We're still searching for him. We'll see if we can get him as he comes off the podium. Right now, let's step aside for a break. You're watching the 2018 Panther Classic right here on STSPN.com. Tom Lafferty here at Snohomish High School. Stephen St. Marie, state champion in what year?
2009.
2009. Josh St. Marie, state champion, what year?
2011.
2011. And we are watching and enjoying the Panther Classic here at Snohomish High School. They're going to turn out the lights, and we're going to the 145-pounders, and it'll be Blake McBride from Oak Harbor. McBride, the number 8th ranked 3A wrestler at 145, taking on Gavin Howell from Arlington. So 3 matches in a row, and we've got 3 Arlington wrestlers in a row. The first one out is Blake McBride from Oak Harbor. Some of us remember Blake McBride when he played for the Detroit Tigers, different guy. Gavin Howell of Arlington. So here's a couple of guys from the Western Conference, 3A. They've wrestled each other, I'm guessing, how many times, Stefan?
In a season, at this point, you have a duel and a tournament. There's probably at least another tournament that they've wrestled at. Both these guys are in the same area, and they'll see each other at their district and regional tournaments. So they might wrestle 4 or 5 times this year.
So Blake McBride of Oak Harbor and Gavin Howell of Arlington. Oak Harbor wrestler in the black right on the right side now, and then the navy blue. A little bit hard to tell them apart. Gavin Howell of Arlington. We're going to see if we can get both of the Arlington wrestlers here. We're going to get them together, and we'll talk to them both. Josh will, with the 2 previous winners. May have 3 in a row with here, but still a 0-0 tie. We're 30 seconds into the first period.
Yeah, you know, when you wrestle a guy a couple of times, you know, at this point they know what each other's doing. This is a dance. This is a little predictable. They know what they're doing. And so, you know, they're really just slowly starting to wear that person down to where they can start to do their moves here. Looks like Oak Harbor, right? Blake McBride is in on that first shot. He has that takedown and looking for more.
And how often, when you look at the who's in the thing and who you're going to wrestle and all that, you can look at, oh, not him.
You know, that goes, you know, every wrestler is different. Some wrestlers could tell you stats for days about people across town, what they scored in middle school, you know, how much they can squat, how much they can bench, you know, and it really boils down to, you know, can you control that or can you control what you're doing? So every wrestler is different. I had teammates that would just study those brackets. As soon as those brackets were posted, they look at it and they'd script out, okay, all I got to do is beat this guy, then that guy. Hopefully that guy loses because he's better than me, you know, and people try to get so involved with too much in the future that they can't control. It's best to really take it one match at a time.
Well, and I always kidded football too.
Mm-hmm.
You look and see, okay, in 3, where's Bellevue?
Yep.
Right? Okay. And I always kind of kidded, you know, maybe it's better if we lose that. Would you ever do that?
Oh, yeah, that definitely crosses everyone's mind. You shouldn't say it, you know, as an athlete. But
of course, you were probably the guy they were losing to avoid.
Later in my years, I was. But early on, yeah, we always looked at who the studs were, and some ran away from them, some ran towards them. So everyone's a little bit different. I always tried to wrestle those tough guys. Lake Stevens is a great high school here, and they were right by Snohomish.
Right.
So I always tried to go wrestle them and get my butt kicked and see
take your medicine and come back for more.
Yep.
I think we're going to go down to Josh. He's ready with a couple of Arlington Eagles, Josh.
In the room, and we really want to go hard. We go with each other.
All right, so you guys are the serious pair. You guys pair up when you want to really go at it.
Yeah.
All right, so who wins?
I don't know. I don't want to say. Will does. Usually Will does.
Oh, Will doesn't want to say. He's the modest one, and Brantley says that who wins?
Will does.
How bad is it?
Not too bad, but sometimes he catches me.
Are you saying you get pinned?
Occasionally, but rarely.
Oh, I see. All right, what's the first thing you're going to eat when you go home today?
Some of my mom's spaghetti. She makes the best.
All right, and you will?
Chicken strips, Red Robin.
Ooh.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
You going to have milkshakes?
No.
Is Red Robin sponsoring this broadcast?
Lemonade kind of guy.
Oh, he's a lemonade kind of guy. Well, congratulations, Will and Brantley, and good luck in the postseason. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Thank you, Josh. Now, Josh, you made me hungry.
Tell him to bring us some.
Chicken strips from Red Robin.
All right, I'll be right back.
You know what I'd rather have?
What?
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, Mom's spaghetti sounds.
Absolutely, but I will take the milkshake, please.
And did your dad make burritos?
I don't know. I'll text him.
No, you won't. Your phone's dead.
True.
Here it's a 4-1 lead for Blake McBride of Oak Harbor.
Blake looks pretty dominant on top here. He's got that double arm bar in. Gavin's doing everything he can to not give it up right here, but he's giving up some near fall. We got 30 seconds for him to he's looking to scoot out of bounds there. Looks like we won't see a fall right here.
3-point near fall points, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough lead to come back from.
Brings it out to 7-1 with 15 seconds to go in the second period. 145 pounds. Blake McBride, the number 8th ranked 3A wrestler at 145 in the state of Washington, according to Washington Wrestling Report. Now, we saw his headgear come off. At what point will the official stop it if the headgear comes right away, or?
Yeah, so on this, I would say it depends. In that case, it was still strapped on. It had the snap, the button was still on. Slight malfunction. It did slide a little bit off the ear, but they won't call it, I think, until it's choking or if it does fall off. A lot of times on the mat, if it's not a dangerous position for the ears, the referees will actually let the wrestlers continue. They're really concerned about the safety of the athletes, so if the ear safety is not a concern, they will let the wrestlers continue. For example, if one wrestler's on his back, they're not going to stop it because most of the ear damage happens when they're on their feet. They're going to the mat.
Okay.
There's a lot of force. And that's great. Again, it's to the discretion of the referee as well, though.
The third period underway, a 7-1 lead for Blake McBride from Oak Harbor. Wrestling Gavin Howell from Arlington. Had 2 wins in a row for Arlington coming into this 145-pound match. Brantley Stupi and Will Rush, we heard from them. Made us hungry with Mom's spaghetti.
Hopefully they have some garlic bread as well.
And some green salad. Ranch dressing or blue cheese?
Ooh, I used to be ranch, but lately blue cheese has been.
Okay.
I suppose it depends on who's making it, right?
That's true.
Store-bought or,
Or homemade.
Homemade. Although I have no idea how to make homemade blue cheese dressing. But it sounds good.
A 9-1 lead for Blake McBride. Just
about
big
Granby.
Insurmountable.
That's right. We're seeing some action here from Gavin at Arlington, but they call it chain wrestling. You have to chain one move with another move. We'll see bits and spurts, but Blake McBride is following what he's doing and maintaining control, riding on top.
Will and Brantley, when they were talking to Josh, talking about being wrestling partners in the room. Who was your wrestling partner in the room?
Oh, that's a good question. So I would go up weights and down weights. Usually the littler guys are faster. So if I wanted to work on speed and quickness, I would go with them. If I wanted to work on strength and maybe I had a bigger, stronger guy that I was going up against, I'd go for those bigger weight class guys. And I was fortunate to have some really good wrestlers, bigger than me and smaller than me, that really they beat me up a lot, and that made me a lot tougher.
Down to 9 seconds to go in the period. An 11-2 lead for Blake McBride from Oak Harbor. So
there we go. We saw a last-minute Granby to get 2 points here.
So the final will be 11-4 with Blake McBride of Oak Harbor snapping the 2-match win streak of the Arlington Eagles. And the Wildcat from Oak Harbor, Blake McBride, living up to his number 8 ranking in the Class 3A for 145 pounds. They'll be presenting the awards for some of the previous winners coming up. We'll take a break. You're watching the Panther Classic right here on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And a couple of guys from the Western Conference 4A will be coming up here at 1:52. Tim Manzik from Glacier Peak, R.J. Fry from Mariner. They'll introduce them here in a moment. Right now on the podium, they're awarding the winners.
This should be Brantley Stupi from Arlington. I know we interviewed him, but yep, they're going with the 138-pound weight class here for the medaling.
That's a chance when mom and dad get down there with their cameras and take
spaghetti
pictures and the spaghetti.
How great would that be if they give you the medal and a big bite of spaghetti on the podium? Yeah, that's how you celebrate.
Okay, we're going to hear. We're going to hear from him after we get done with the lights off. And Tim Manzik of Glacier Peak being introduced. R.J. Fry of Mariner. Reminder, there are two other matches for 5th and 3rd places going on to each side, but we're concentrating on the championship bouts here.
Yep.
At the Panther Classic. Now we're getting into the bigger boys.
The big guys. Here you might see some more throws with these guys, a little more upper body strength, lower body strength. Sometimes these are older wrestlers as well. Of course, the freshmen, sophomores, as you get older, you get bigger, you go through growth spurts. And so these guys are typically juniors and seniors, a little more maturity. You might see some more experience out here on the mat.
We're going to get underway here on the 152 between Manzik of Glacier Peak and R.J. Fry of Mariner. Let's go down to Josh St. Marie, who is with Blake McBride of Oak Harbor.
Thanks, Tom. I'm here with Blake as a junior from Oak Harbor. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Oak Harbor's a long ways away, huh?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. You guys going back tonight, right?
Yes.
All right. So how are you feeling going into this match?
All right. My semifinals match was against a really tough kid, but I felt like I could get this guy. So.
Have you ever wrestled him before?
I haven't.
All right. So I got one more question for you. When you eat green salad, do you like blue cheese or ranch?
I'm going to have to go ranch.
Ranch. Cannot believe it.
What's he going to eat?
What are you going to eat when you go home?
Probably Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Oh, now.
Any ice cream?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I loved the little dip cones they give you at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, for sure. I like how they hold the blizzards upside down and they don't fall out. It's pretty dope.
Awesome. Well, congratulations and good luck the rest of your season. Thank you.
There you go. That is Blake McBride with Josh St. Marie. Didn't I, when he was talking about Dairy Queen, did I hold my hand upside down?
You did, yeah. He must have read your mind there. Everyone loves that.
Hey, Josh, can you run down to Dairy Queen?
I'll be right back. You're on your own for the rest of the evening.
But we want that blizzard still to be frozen when you get back here, too. So.
And you're going to need to hold it upside down for us.
But there isn't a Dairy Queen in town anymore.
Yeah, there was one about 10, 15 years ago, and they had a fire, right? And then they remodeled and Jack in the Box.
Yep. So.
Yeah, you got to go across town. Well, if those guys are going back to Oak Harbor, they might have a couple Dairy Queens, couple opportunities for some milkshakes.
Sure. So we're at 152 here in the Panther Classic. A 2-0 lead. We got a Glacier Peak wrestler, Tim Manzik, R.J. Fry of Mariner.
Yeah, Manzik came out pretty strong. Right away, a pretty dominant takedown. He did turn R.J. Fry to his back, but R.J. Fry wasn't there long enough for any points to accrue. And so here we go into the second period. You see R.J. Fry, he looks a little tired, little happy to be off the bottom there, hoping that he can get some points here on top now.
Now, you said a little tired, and some of these guys are 4 and 5 matches all in one day.
Yep.
When you were doing that, were you a keep energy and run around, or I've also been here for most of the afternoon with guys laying down and asleep in the gutter here of the bleachers?
Yeah, so there's a couple strategies there. I had a lot of teammates that would take naps in between matches, and you do. It's about a 6-minute wrestling match. and then you have about an hour and a half before your next match. And so that is a lot of time. It's really hard to keep running. You don't want to be running for 8 hours in the day. You'll be pretty exhausted towards the end of the day. So everyone's got their own thing, little mini meals. You definitely don't want to have a big meal. For me, I definitely couldn't take a nap. If I take a nap, I'm groggy the rest of the day, and I get cranky and want to go to sleep. So it's so much to start that engine back up to where I couldn't nap. I'd have to go around, talk to people. I slept really good on tournament nights.
The night before or the night after?
The night after, because I wouldn't sleep during the tournament. I'd be up all day running around and then sleep really good, especially after that milkshake and mom's spaghetti.
Tim Manzik, the 12th ranked 4A wrestler at 152 in the state of Washington out of Glacier Peak. He's got a 5-0 lead over R.J. Fry out of Mariner. A couple of wrestlers from the Wesco 4A.
So he's got that arm on the back. He's going to try and drag him back in because if they go out of bounds, he'll lose his position there. So they'll start, in that referee's position where the guy's in a bottom base, and Tim's going to have to work again to break down that base.
And if in that case, if you're the guy in the bottom and you see that line right under you, hey, I'm going that way. I'm heading out.
Absolutely, yeah. You want a fresh start. You might have a little bit of an advantage with a reset there. But here Tim Manzik is putting a dominant performance on, getting some more near fall, working that arm on the back, circling, trying to stay on the mat, and really doing what he wants. He should pull him back in at this point. I don't think you can pin him outside, out of bounds here. He can get near fall, but he won't get the pin.
And that's what Dave Gilbertson's saying right now.
He's saying what? Josh, say it again. I didn't have you on.
Josh is saying no near fall, or no fall, no pin outside out of bounds, or can they get points outside?
That may be a recent change, but I thought you could not get near fall if you're out of bounds.
Okay. Looks like they've counted it. Might have been a partial inbounds, partial out of bounds, but they're giving it to him. So we're at 11-0 now.
Glacier Peak's Tim Manzik. Just about insurmountable. Now, I'm guessing at some point you were down big to somebody.
Yep.
When do you okay, I'm just going to watch this. Hang on and watch this.
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, that goes into the mental aspect of this game. Mental, it's a 90% mental, 50% physical. It's over when you decide it's over. And so that's this top guy. He's going through his mind. He's like, man, I got to pin him. What can I do? I haven't scored a single point, and yet I'm on top. What can I do? And so we might see him still continue to fight. But you're right. We might see that moment where he breaks mentally. That's what we call it, where he breaks mentally and says, you know what? Okay, I concede. You're the better wrestler. Let's just get this clock over with. Sometimes you see it. Sometimes you don't. He might battle it out. But as he's looking over his coaches and hands on the hips, all of that is sign language saying that hey, Tim Manzik's a tough opponent.
And like you said, these are guys that are going to see each other a lot.
Yes, they are. And this isn't it. This is the finals of the Panther Classic. It's a big stage, but this is not what these athletes have been training for all year. They've been training to be the best athlete they can be, and they want to peak at the best time of the year, and that's here in a couple of weeks at the districts, regionals, and state championship.
When do you start thinking of that? When do you start looking ahead and saying, okay, I got to be ready for this? Do you set markers for yourself out in front?
Yeah, you do, and there's a lot of strategy that goes into that. It really depends on how mature you are, how mature your coaching staff is. I remember my first year going to state, a couple weeks before, I trained way too hard, and around state I was exhausted. My senior year I did everything right. My coaches had me taper off, really try to bring out that peak performance. I was eating right. They had me on a really good eating diet, and that's the most important thing is so that you're peaking at that right time.
And we did last year. We did the districts, and I know they're trying to change it so the regionals are going to be different as well, because there is a little bit of that, right, where you're, I don't really need to do much the week before because I'm going there anyway.
You're right, and that might be with these guys. They know they're going to see each other again, so they're they're studying each other, picking their notes, watching that film. They want to win when it counts, and that's a big part of this game.
That's Tim Manzik, a 14-1 win. That's domination.
What a dominant performance. Yeah.
And you know what I've always liked about wrestling?
What's that?
You guys get done, and you go over and shake the hand of the other coach.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat aspect of wrestling. I know other teammates, other team sports, they go through the line and they shake each other's hands. But this, as you saw, R.J. Fry, he got beat. That was a tough match, but he's patting Tim Manzik on the back, saying, "Hey, I respect you. You worked hard. I put my toe on the line. We went at it, and you know what? You won today. You're the better guy today. I'm gonna go congratulate your coaches." And then now he's talking to his coaches. Now he's saying, "Okay, what can I do to improve? I'm ready to hit this practice room this next week and to do the best I can."
We'll hear from Tim Manzik here in just a minute. I think we're going to be going to the podium first. Here for back to the 145, and they're going to be presenting that up there. And let's go down to Josh. Josh, let's go down and talk with another fellow Grizzly. Tim.
All right, I'm here with Tim Manzik, a senior at Glacier Peak High School. Is this your first time winning the Panther Classic?
Yes, it is my first time.
How many years have you wrestled here?
Well, in high school I've wrestled all 4 years, and I've also done middle school as well.
All right, so have you been to the Panther Classic how many years?
I've been here every year, but I got third last year. That was the best I've ever done, and I won this year.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have any goals for the postseason this year?
My goal at state is to get top 5 at state for 152 pounds. Yeah, that's my goal.
Nice. How was the week of practice leading up to today's tournament?
I was actually sick earlier this week. I missed Tuesday's practice because I wasn't feeling too well, and so I think it's awesome. Like, this helps build my confidence because I know that even when I'm not at my best, I can still win.
Absolutely. So you won by 13 points. If you got 2 more points, that's another team point, right?
Yeah, that's why Coach had me cut him at the end. I wanted to tech him, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, good luck. I'm sure he's going to talk to you about it.
Food.
All right, what's the first thing you're going to eat when you get home tonight?
I might get a milkshake. Just don't tell Coach.
Might get a milkshake. It's all right. Well, congratulations and good luck getting top 5 this year. Thanks, Tim.
There you go, Tim Manzik of Glacier Peak. Josh, these guys like their milkshakes.
They do, and I did too. I think I'm going to go get one tonight. I didn't even earn it.
Yeah, you haven't been out there wrestling at all.
Oh, I'll go wrestle an exhibition with Stefan before they clean the mats up, and we'll earn our milkshake.
So we're underway here from North Salem. They made the trip up from Salem, Oregon. Ian Carlos and Josh Guerin from Mariner at the 160-pound matchup here in the Panther Classic. I'm going to get a milkshake. Don't tell Coach.
Don't tell. Didn't I say that earlier? That is a wrestler's, unspoken law that when you've worked so hard, you need to now go ruin your body with some terrible nutrients. But the funny thing, coaches know, and they're proud that you've worked hard. They'll work it out of you that next week. If you put that garbage in your body, they're gonna make you sweat, and they're gonna get that back out of you here Monday, Tuesday, getting ready for next week.
Now here's an example. Ian Carlos out of North Salem, Josh Guerin from Mariner. These guys have never seen each other, right? Well, or would they have in the summer?
That's a good question. I remember at Snohomish High School, we did go down to an Oregon tournament. We saw Alaska schools, Oregon schools. There's a couple tournaments where you might see, other neighboring states, Montana, Idaho, Nevada, California. So it's a rare chance because at a tournament like this tournament, you have 16 guys. But these guys have only wrestled 4 or 5 matches, so you're not getting really to wrestle every guy. So they might have. I would say it's unlikely.
Ian Carlos with a 6-2 lead over Josh Guerin of Mariner, and he's got the advantage here. Quite an advantage, starting to get him into a little more of a precarious position.
Yep, yeah, he's working that left side arm bar. his right arm, he'll look for either a half Nelson over here or that far side armbar to make it a double armbar, which is one of the toughest. Yep, he's going to get that double armbar. That is so hard to get out of. Might not get the fall. There's some – okay, he's looking pretty tight here. There's some space, but running out of time. All right, he's going to get his three-point near fall. I didn't really like that knee to the face there.
Right.
But
I think that's why the official stopped it, right?
Well, the time ran out. That's why he stopped
all
it.
right.
So I don't think anyone else saw that. But that didn't look comfortable.
No. Ian Carlos of North Salem. Now, there's a guy who's got upper body strength for days.
That's right. He might know where the gym room is.
Yeah, he's seen a weight room here and there. Josh, he looks like you, right?
10 years ago, maybe.
10 milkshakes ago, right?
Talk to me tonight.
It's a 9-2 lead for Carlos out of North Salem.
So this is interesting. This is times where you see two different states get to wrestle each other. You always have the analysts talking about what states are better than other states. It's really tough to tell. You have power-ranked states. In this case, I would say Oregon is better than Washington. Of course, that is not that's not true in every case, but we're seeing a really awesome performance here from Ian Carlos.
Well, now in the Pac-12, Oregon State still has a wrestling program.
They do. In the Pac-12, there were 6 schools that had wrestling programs. Boise State just dropped their program. Oregon State.
Really? Your school?
They did, yes. Boise State, where I wrestled, they dropped it. They wanted to add a men's a men's baseball team, and in order to do that, you'd have to have another girls' sport for Title IX reasons, or you would need to drop a guys' sport. I think men's track and field and men's wrestling, they were both under the gun, and men's wrestling just got dropped this last year. Pretty upsetting for the wrestling community. But like you said, Oregon State has had an awesome team this last few years. I doubt that they are going to go anywhere because now with Boise State, Oregon State has some great recruits coming in. They get their pickings for this whole Pacific Northwest. All these wrestlers here tonight and over state over the next few years as they're looking to college recruiters. Oregon State is looking pretty good for anyone who likes the Pacific Northwest.
And Ian Carlos is looking pretty good for a win here. He's out to a 17-2 lead, but hasn't been able to put him away.
He hasn't. So in this case, it is a tech fall.
Okay.
So this is a case where maybe a mercy rule or technical fall. He has gotten 15 points ahead with 17-2. So they go ahead and stop the match at that point and award him the victory.
So Ian Carlos of North Salem, technical fall win over Josh Giron of Mariner.
And that's what Josh was talking to Tim Manzuk about. He was about 13 points ahead. Josh asked him, hey, if you got 2 more points, you would have gotten an extra team point.
We call that rubbing it in, don't we?
We do. Rubbing it in, a little bit of salt in the wound. But that's what coaches are coaching. That's what they want their athletes to do is to look for that because every point matters. Like we were saying, that's what obviously Ian Carlos won that match. He knew pretty early that he was going to dominate this match, but he then decided, hey, I want my coach to be happy. I want my team to be happy. I'm going to add another point for our team, and let's keep it on. He could have stalled out, but it's awesome to see him to go and push and push and push and go for more points. That's exciting wrestling, and that's what we need to see more of.
And I think we're going to hear from the 5th place match is still going on over here on mat number 1, but we're going to go down into the corner and go down to Josh with Ian Carlos from North Salem High School.
All right, Ian, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Still trying to catch your breath?
No, not really. Just fixing my knee pad.
All right, so you won by tech fall. Is coach going to be upset that you didn't get the pin there?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
How long do you think that talking's going to be?
A couple minutes.
All right, so you got plenty of time for that talking on the way home. How long is the drive home?
It's about 5 hours.
5 hours. Have you been to a lot of tournaments in Washington?
I've been to one other one this year. I didn't compete in it though. I was taking time off from nationals.
All right, you went to nationals. How'd you do in nationals?
I ended up winning nationals this year.
Congratulations, you won nationals this year.
Thank you.
So I got one more question for you. When you get on the road, what's the first thing you're going to eat?
Sandwich. Just regular.
Just a sandwich?
Yeah.
Discipline.
Are you pretty disciplined?
A little bit, yeah. I try not to eat like unhealthy. You know, I try to stay as healthy as possible.
So does that mean milkshakes are off the table?
Yes, definitely.
Wow, all right. They do it differently down in Oregon.
They're tougher.
Yeah, we sure do.
They're tougher.
All right, well, thanks, Ian. Congratulations, and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Yeah, Josh, they got discipline down there south of the border.
I was born in the wrong state, because I sure don't.
Where's that milkshake?
I don't know. You buying?
Yeah. So we are watching the match over here for 3rd and 5th is what they're wrestling for, as the championship at 160 got done. And so they're wait to introduce the next round after this is over.
About 30 seconds.
And it's close, 3-2. Down to 17 seconds to go in the 3rd period. A 4-3 lead now. Close, down to 7, down to 6. Can he get a fall? Down to 5, down to 4. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, he's calling that a fall. 1 second on the clock.
A pin with 0-0-1 on the clock. Wow, you don't see that very often.
No, and that looks like that's going to be Eubanks from Federal Way beating Fletcher from Oak Harbor right here at the last minute. What a buzzer beater.
So that is the 3rd and 5th, and they're going to do some introduction of the on the podium. So we will step aside and take a break right now, right here at the Panther Classic on STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At G&S, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call G&S Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
All right. Welcome back. The Panther Classic here on STSPN.com on a Saturday afternoon at the Keith Gilbertson Senior Sports and Fitness Center at Snohomish High School. Tom Lafferty along with Josh St. Marie and Stefan St. Marie. Thanks for being with us here on this Saturday. Watching some wrestling. Next up will be the 170-pounders. Nice thing about this tournament, they turn it off the lights and they run it like it's a WWE heading out into the ring, and so it's going to be Christian Fairbanks of Arlington, the 10th ranked 3A wrestler at 170, against Kyle Carlson of Snohomish. So Kyle Carlson, of Snohomish, and Christian Fairbanks of Arlington. Arlington, I think, with the most number of wrestlers in the finals here in the Panther Classic. You just had a chance to talk with Ian Carlos of North Salem.
Yeah, Ian Carlos. I think we didn't have the stats since we were looking at Washington Wrestling Report, but he was the state champion last year for Oregon State. He won the Reno Tournament of Champions, and that is one of the toughest. He called nationals. There's a lot of different nationals tournaments, and that, I would say, is one of the toughest tournaments in the nation for a high schooler. And he won. You see kids from California. You see the best of the best at a tournament like that.
Yeah,
so,
he is disciplined.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, clearly, as we found out, there's a different breed. When you move away from milkshakes and you're hitting the weights, you're taking time off to go wrestle in a big tournament like that. He's been doing it right. He's a junior this year, so he can go for another title this year and hopefully one more next year to make it 3 times in his high school career. So we'll be looking for that guy here in the future.
Many years ago, doing a wrestling match with when we were doing some things on Comcast back years ago, I doing color with me was Chuck Patton, who had coached at Iowa State. He was at that time then the athletic director of Everett School District, but he had coached wrestling and wrestled at Iowa State. That's really the hotbed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Those Midwest states are really where all the action is. I like to think because there's not much to do out in those cornfields that you might as well train and work hard. And so you see some really exciting wrestling matches there. In fact, they will sell out their gyms, and it's always a packed house for matches like that.
Yeah, you talk about, well, you just talked about Boise State, and we're talking about the Pac-12 schools, about revenue sports.
Yeah.
Wrestling is a revenue sport.
So it is in the Midwest.
Right.
It is not. So for a school like Boise State, hearing about the wrestling team drop, actually only 2 sports at Boise State are revenue positive. So that's football and men's basketball. Every other sport loses money, and that's okay because you're there for an experience for your athletes, right? They say it's a non-profit organization, colleges, right? And yeah, that's what they say. It's great to have more and more sports and not be worried about the revenues. But of course, as we know, if you're burning a lot of money, you do need to cut some sports that aren't making it, and that's what we've seen at Boise State.
So 5-1 lead for Arlington's Christian Fairbanks over the home team, Kyle Carlson of Snohomish.
Yeah, and I would say these guys have seen each other. They're not too far apart in towns, so they might know what each others are doing. But it looks like Arlington is on top here, 5-1.
Isn't it interesting, though? These guys look way skinnier than, still standing in front of us is Ian Fairbanks, right? Just body type.
Yeah, and it's bodies come in all shapes and sizes. You might see, and as you drop weight too, and your skin gets a little tighter, you might look more ripped, but actually you've gotten rid of that soft layer.
Yeah.
All those milkshakes, going back to that comment.
We're hearing from the hinterlands. Our basketball statistician, Buddy Patrick, saying, sounding good, guys.
Sounding good.
So Buddy's off listening.
Thank you, Buddy. Appreciate that.
And your wife is listening?
She is, yeah.
Or watching tonight?
Yep. She had a comment about my funk comment. So hello, Brooke in Boise, Idaho. Thank you for listening.
And what we're really answering is these are people that have nothing else to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Yes, this is right.
Christian Fairbanks of Arlington, a 4-1 lead over Kyle Carlson of Snohomish here in the 170-pound championship for the Panther Classic. A 1-point escape now for Carlson makes it 4-2. Fairbanks with the lead.
Yeah, this score looks pretty good right now. If Snohomish can get a takedown right here, it would tie up the match. So I would say, neither guy's out at this point. Snohomish definitely has a chance to correct that score and to make this a little more competitive of a match. Or if Arlington gets that takedown, I would say it really sways that momentum. Oh, Snohomish is in on a single leg there, looking to score. Oh, stay in bounds. Nothing yet. Arlington's scrambling. Nothing yet. And ooh,
he can't do it.
No.
the referee was about to, he couldn't pull the trigger.
He wanted to, yep. But it wasn't enough. And that coach from Arlington is coming over.
Yeah.
He saw him get those points ready. He wants them.
That's kind of, you're watching a football game, and you can see the guy reaching for his flag, but he can't find it, so he just leaves it in his pocket.
That's right.
Now he's going to come over, the referee.
It's tough because Arlington was behind, and Snohomish had weight on his hands, meaning that, Snohomish was holding up Arlington, and that's a clear sign when there's weight on the hands. But Arlington's hands, he in no way had control of the hips, and that's another indicator of control. As you saw, he kind of flipped over top.
Josh.
Stephen, talk about what's going through your head as a wrestler at this point, because your motor's moving, and then all of a sudden you're standing around for a while. So what's going on in your head?
So at this point, when the coaches are talking, I'm focused. I actually look at the opponent. If his hands are on his hips, like Arlington's hands are on his hips right now, he looks tired. And I look for signs like that. I was like, okay, he's tired. Let me turn it up right here. Whether I'm winning or losing, I really look at the mental aspect of the game, all of the kind of those social cues and the hand signals there of what's going on. Now, of course, as they're trying to fix the clock and everything, now's the time where I might look at my coach. The coach might say, hey, here's what I've seen. Try to go down on this guy. He's not too tough on top. Or, hey, he's getting tired. He can break here.
Yeah, then they called him out. Then they went back over to talk about the clock. Like, come on, guys, let's go.
Yep. Yeah, and another few seconds makes all the difference in the world. Coaches should teach, hey, you see 5-6 seconds left. That's enough time for a takedown because then you can go into the new period refreshed. So even if you don't get that takedown, it's a good opportunity to attack.
Final period, a 6-2 lead for Christian Fairbanks of Arlington over Kyle Carlson of Snohomish. And this is where Carlson, I would think, has got to, like we said, push it all into the center of the table. We're going to have a reversal here.
We are, yep.
And that's going to jump it out to 8-2 lead for Fairbanks out of Arlington.
At this point, I would expect the guy who's down, which in this case is Kyle Carlson, I would expect to see him fold, but we don't see that. He's still attacking. He still has hope, is what we would call that.
So when do you know, like here, when will you take is it like right there where Fairbanks, like, shot for the legs?
He shot for the legs, and look, now we're seeing a takedown from Kyle Carlson. This has given new blood, new energy for Snohomish, and now we're a 3-point match. That's near fall. And like I was saying earlier, Arlington had his hands on his hips. He's tired, and we know it. Look at that. So now Kyle Carlson, he's letting the guy get up, giving him 4 points because he wants to be on his feet. He's found a little bit of success on his feet.
So give up the point, right?
Give up the point for a chance to get 2 points with a takedown. Yeah, there's some strategy there. You had about a minute left to get hopefully 2 takedowns is what he's hoping for to close that deficit, maybe go into overtime. We'll see here. But now Arlington, he's holding on to the leg, trying to slow down that clock, slow down his momentum. He's locked his hands.
Down to 38 seconds to
go. There you go. Kyle's got 2. He should cut him now. That's what his coaches will tell him. Cut him and take him down, and then it's
now a 1-point escape, so it'll be a 10-7 lead.
Okay, so then he actually still needs 2 more takedowns, so we're tough here.
Down to 16 seconds to go.
Oh, okay, now Arlington's getting near fall here, so this is a done deal for Fairbanks of Arlington.
7 seconds to go. Yeah, Christian Fairbanks with the lead with 1 second to go, and that's it.
We're going to see a big score here. So you got 2-point takedown and 2-point near fall that we saw kind of as neither really had control. Carlson of Snohomish was on his back, so we now see a 15-7 point. So it looks a lot different than how the match did about 20 seconds ago, where it almost went the other way.
So Christian Fairbanks, the 10th-ranked 3A wrestler at 170 pounds in the state of Washington, will get the win, 15-7 over Kyle Carlson on Carlson's home mat here at Snohomish High School. 182 is coming up next. It'll be Jake Cassidy of Decatur and Max Furlong Benedetti from Kamiak. A couple of 4A wrestlers. Cassidy, the third-ranked 4A wrestler at 182, finished third at 170 last year at the Matt Classic. Talk about the Matt Classic. Walking in the first time you walked into the Tacoma Dome.
Oh, wow. The Tacoma Dome, if you've driven by, you can see it. It looks like a big cloud. They got it nicely painted there. They have that huge flag up top there. Walking in, those ceilings are massive. You're just in shock. Kid in a candy store, eyes big, looking around. They have mats everywhere. Our coach said, okay, run around, run a few laps to get warmed up. And we're saying, are you kidding? That lap's like a mile long. I'm going to be exhausted by the time I get around once. I'm going to get lost in here. that is a crazy tournament. And you know what? The first time you walk in there, everyone's scared. Everyone's, oh my goodness, this is state. This is the MAC Classic. I've heard about this tournament. It is tough. Look at all these fans. It's loud. Everyone is there. This is the final stage. And what you got to do is you got to put your shoes on. You got to tie your shoes. You got to step out on the mat. Every mat is the same size. You know, it's still a circle. It's still squishy under your feet. You can go stand. There's a red line. There's a green line. You're either going to be a red singlet, green singlet. You know, the clock is the same. They still do a 2-minute round down there at state.
Yeah.
The referees still wear black and white. You know, you still have 2 coaches in your corner. The other guy has 2 coaches in his corner. He still looks the same. So you got to get to what you know and what you've done all year long. Every practice, blood, sweat, and tears. You just got to get back to those moments of, hey, I've been here before. I know what I need to do. You got to push all that stuff aside that, man, these ceilings are really tall. All my family's here, my fans. You got to forget all of that. You got to have a selective amnesia there.
Well, and I go back to the movie Hoosiers when Gene Hackman comes out and goes into the Butler Fieldhouse and it's a 10-foot basket.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to put those into perspective to say, hey, look, it's the same mat we have back at home, right? We traveled all this way, but it's the same mat. It's the same, that your opponent has 2 arms and 2 legs. Go attack, and you got to put it into those perspectives. Otherwise, you can get lost in your head with all the other hype.
But it really isn't, is it?
So much more. It is state, the MAC Classic.
We are watching Jake Cassidy of Decatur, Max Furlong-Benedetti of Kamiak. Let's go down Christian Fairbanks of Arlington. Josh, I think he'd like to go down to the MAC Classic, I would think, here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Christian, have you ever been to the MAC Classic?
Yeah.
You went to state last year?
I was watching it.
Watching it? What'd you think?
Well, just hoping to make it this year.
All right, I believe you can. So how many matches did you wrestle today?
3.
3, so you got a first-round bye?
No.
Oh, only 3 matches to okay, gotcha. Long day?
Not quite. There's been longer.
Okay, so in that match, you were ahead for a while. Did you start coasting?
Yeah, a lot.
What's Coach going to say about that?
We'll probably be doing sprints Monday, but thank you.
But you got the title, right?
For now.
All right. Well, congratulations. One more question. What are you going to eat? What are you going to eat tonight when you go home?
Anything I can get.
You got one thing in mind you're going to eat when you leave?
Hopefully spaghetti.
Hopefully Mama's spaghetti. All right. Well, congratulations and good luck getting to state this year.
Thanks.
There you go, Christian Fairbank. Have you been to the MAC Classic? You got to watch. That's great.
Yep.
And more spaghetti.
And more spaghetti. I'm sensing a trend here. It's all the carbs. Not allowed to have carbs during the season, so get what you can.
And Josh, I'm going to keep you on here. I'm guessing you kind of noticed he coasted.
Oh, it was plain as day. He's got a good lead, and then all of a sudden the guy starts taking him down. I wanted to pipe up and ask why the official isn't calling stalling on him, because Snohomish was getting after it, and he's just backing up. He's getting taken down, and it's not up to the wrestlers to have a really fast-paced match. It's up to the referees. It's their responsibility to push the wrestlers. They're the ones who have the control of giving those stalling calls out and getting them wrestling. So,
well, and you officiated. Would you, as a former wrestler, push the stall button faster than somebody else would?
Absolutely. I think most people want to see a fast-paced match. Want to see people trying, and people stalling out there just isn't fun to watch. And it's different as a wrestler.
Yeah, and I might chime in there, Josh, too. He took a risk by not putting Snohomish away early to where the other guy felt like he was in the match. And, there's that mental aspect of that sport where and that's why I think coaches want their athletes to keep on the attack, because you're allowing that person to have hope that, hey, there's a chance I can come back for this. And as you get late in the season, if you blow a lead, because you're taking a break, it could be very costly this time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and this is also a sport. If you're down by 4 touchdowns, you have to score 4 touchdowns to tie.
Yep.
You could be down 15-7 like it was and get pinned.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, so, it's like.
You don't have to go on a 12-0 run. You have to go on a 1-0 run.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So you got to secure that you have more points than the other person, and then you got to secure the dominance. You're not going to go to your back. You're not even going to go there to risk getting pinned there.
Here we're watching Jake Cassidy of Decatur, Max Furlong-Benedetti of Kamiak. Close match. We're at 1:12 to play in the second period.
So this is an interesting. We're at 7-5 right now. Decatur has really dominated this match. But
not on the scoreboard yet.
But not on the scoreboard, because those 5 points came on a scramble for Kamiak to flip Cassidy onto his back and to get 2-point reversal, 3-point near fall. So really quick, almost got a pin there late in the round, but we're seeing Decatur really control this at this point.
There you go.
And get the fall.
There is the pin. And doing past wrestling matches with Josh, and I've worked with Burke Barnes. Where's the uh-oh moment? Have you had a few of those?
The
uh-oh.
Yeah, so I like the example of a caged squirrel or a raccoon. If you back a raccoon up into a corner, it's going to freak out. And even though, of course, a raccoon couldn't attack a bear, but if you get a raccoon in a corner, or that mama bear syndrome, right? So as soon as my shoulders would hit the mat, I'd kind of freak out. A little panic button, like someone's holding your head underwater. And if you have that attitude, that's going to help you to wrestle longer. Because once, like you said, once that pin happens, if that pin happens in the first period, you didn't get a chance to show what you got in that second round, that third round. And so if you gave that up, you're done. And so you need to have that panic button, that panic switch that somebody is offensively trying to pin you, and you gotta battle like life or death.
Yeah, at home, Stefan hit that panic button all the time.
In the living room?
In the living room. Yeah, he was always panicking.
Yeah, we had a King of the Corner game on the couch, and we'd battle a lot, and that's probably where I got inspired to wrestle. Is growing up with 4 other brothers. It's pretty tough.
And we had Jake Cassidy with a win. We're still awaiting here the third and fifth matches ending up here, as our previous match ended with a pin in the third period. There's 11 seconds to go in a 1-1 tie.
We got North Salem, so another Oregon. I bet that he and Ian will wrestle each other since they're similar in weights. Again, you see 2 guys from close weight class being high on the podium.
2 seconds to go in this one, and a 1-1 tie.
Okay, it looks like the first overtime match that I've seen today. First time of the finals here. So what happens is we should have about a minute up on the clock, and the first takedown, it'll be sudden victory for whoever gets that first takedown.
So, you said it exactly the way I like it. Sudden victory rather than sudden death, right?
Yeah, you're right. And that's what's unique about wrestling as a sport, and it's all about the mindset, as I was saying earlier. Sudden victory, meaning both guys have a chance to win, right? If you're thinking about, oh, no, I could almost lose here, you've already lost. You've broken mentally, and you're worried about the defensive. You need to be on the attack. Sudden victory. You have a sudden chance to win. And most teams, Tom, I would say they practice this in the mat room. After a hard practice where you're ready to go home, hit the showers, they say, okay, toe on the line, we're going overtime. And they practice when you're exhausted. Do you have anything else in the tank? Do you have the discipline to have good stance, position? Don't make mistakes. Don't give up position here. So I love sudden victory.
Down to 20 seconds to go. This is Isaac Vipperman from North Salem and from Burlington Edison. Just making sure, Hunter Thompson. Is it Hunter? Yeah, Hunter Thompson.
No, Tom, I think we have Garcia and Wheeler because Snohomish is in this one.
Okay. All right. Both. Well, another North Salem. I saw North Salem on the bracket here.
So looks like both North Salem guys for this weight are making the bracket, which is pretty cool for teammates to do. I bet they're pretty proud of that.
So now they go another 30 seconds.
Okay, so no score in that first sudden victory overtime. So now they're going to go 30 seconds and 30 seconds. So if anyone scores here, that's okay. It's not sudden victory at this point. They both missed their chance. So so they'll go 30 seconds with one guy on bottom, one guy on top. Then they'll switch positions. So they'll both get a chance. It's fair. It's got to be fair like that. If there's still no one that scores at that point, then they do one more 30 seconds. If top guy holds him, he wins. If bottom guy gets out, he wins. Okay, nothing here. They go out of bounds again.
This is 1-1.
1-1.
You don't see that very often.
You don't. You don't. So very defensive. Both guys are able to stop each other.
Looking for an escape. Nothing yet. 11 seconds to go.
So after about 5 seconds, yep, and he's calling for stalling. So North Salem needs to return him. Otherwise, he's called for stalling. Another 5 seconds, and they might give him a point. Oh, timeout. So North Salem has a stall call. If he gets another call, that'll be a point here in overtime, and that will add to that. So that 30-second period is over. They're going to switch positions now.
And go to another 30-second.
Yep,
We're in overtime. Well, we're about triple overtime now.
Yeah, so it's the third overtime. If the score is not tied at the end of this 30 seconds, the winner will be decided. So now it looks like Snohomish is kind of stalling. He's holding on. He's trying to hang on to that leg, and we're going to see a reversal here. So Snohomish can still score 2 points and tie it, but he has 11 seconds to do so. And he's going, oh my gosh, he got the escape. He's going to go hard. He's got 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. That will be that.
And that will be that. What an exciting match.
Wow. Wow. So in triple overtime.
North Salem, that was Garcia that won that for his team. He's going to be happy on that 5-hour bus ride home.
That's right.
He won't get a milkshake happy, but but he'll be happy.
And let's go down on the floor. Jake Cassidy of Decatur is with Josh.
All right, Jake, how you doing today?
Good. I just won.
You just won. Always good. How many? You wrestled a lot of matches today?
Like 4.
So what was your preparation like going? Yeah, I noticed you come out pretty strong. What was your preparation like going into that match?
Just stay in good position and focus on the match.
Stay in good position. So what happened? What was going through your mind when you went through a little scramble there and ended up on your back?
Realized I had to get off quick because I wasn't going to let him pin me right there. So I had to make a quick move.
All right. So what do you think Coach is going to say after this match?
Don't go on your back.
All right. So have you been to Matt Classic before?
Yes, sir. I took 3rd place last year.
3rd place. And what you shooting for this year?
Gold.
Gold. All right. So one more question. What are you going to be eating when you get home?
What's that?
What are you going to be eating when you get home?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken. All right. Well, thank you. Congratulations and good luck at state.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
There you go. Now I'm hungry for fried chicken. How about spaghetti and fried chicken?
Ooh, is that a thing?
That's a thing.
That should be a thing. I know chicken and waffles is a thing. And I saw Elf, and he put syrup on his spaghetti. So there you have your waffles and your spaghetti. So you might as well do chicken and spaghetti, right? It's logical.
That's right. And I think one of the matches of the night coming up here, at 195 pounds, 2 state-ranked wrestlers. Jacob Fleury of Burlington Edison, ranked number 11 in the Class 2A. Josh Erling of Glacier Peak in the 4A, also ranked number 11. This should be a war here.
This should be, and I love that 195-pound weight class. These boys are men. They're grown, usually a little bit older. They hit the weight room. They're not worried, and they're fast. You know, they're big, but they're strong and they're fast as well. Typically, these guys play football or some other sport as well, and they're just athletes. We're going to see a lot of athleticism here and strength. Typically, this is when you see the wrestlers fly off into the cheerleaders. You know, if they're nearby on the mat. You know, you see a lot of motion. The mat's not big enough for these guys.
Yeah, interesting. So here we go. Underway, Jacob Fleury, Burlington Edison, Josh Erling of Glacier Peak. Yeah, you mentioned these are the tight ends, right?
Yeah.
The tight ends and the linebackers.
That's right. Yeah, the guys that you don't want to see if you're carrying the ball, but you want they're blocking for you or yeah.
In fact, I think I'm pretty sure they both do play football.
Okay.
Erling at Glacier Peak and Jacob Fleury from Burlington Edison. The Tigers and the Grizzlies. Which is tougher, a Tiger or a Grizzly?
Okay.
What'd you say, Josh?
Absolutely the Grizzly.
Oh, says the Glacier Peak alum, the Glacier Peak Grizzly alum. So let's talk about this. A Grizzly, they're probably heavier in weight. Tiger is going to be a little bit faster, maybe sharper claws, bigger teeth.
The Grizzly, you don't want to run into him if you're up hiking in Glacier National.
That's true.
But you also don't want to run into a tiger if you're on the savannah of Africa.
All right, which one do you want to wrestle?
Neither. They're both 195. I'm about 145. I'll just stick here with my milkshake up here. I'll watch them wrestle. Okay, so we saw a takedown from Glacier Peak here. Josh Erling. Looks like he was the first one to score here, looking for a turn.
24 seconds to play here in, I would say play because I'm used to doing other sports. 24 seconds, now it's down to 17 seconds to go in the first period in a 195-pound championship bout in the Panther Classic here at Snohomish.
Yeah, Tom, you might offend whole wrestling community if you say that we're playing. Wrestlers always say this is not a game and we do not play. These are not players, they're wrestlers, and these are matches, these are tournaments. This is real life here. You know, we're not playing a game.
Until you go and have a milkshake.
Until you have a milkshake, then.
So we're heading into the second period, a 2-0 lead for Josh Erling out of Glacier Peak.
Oh, I just got a text from my dad saying that we're having pork loin tonight, not spaghetti. So little disappointment there. But, of course, I didn't pay the price and wrestle in this tournament this year. So
that's right. You're sitting up here in the TV booth.
That's right. That's climate controlled. I didn't have to weigh in this morning, so I'll handle my pork loin. That'll be just fine.
A 2-0 lead for Josh Erling, the 195-pound championship bout in the Panther Classic. Both wrestlers just about there. They are out of bounds with 1:25 to go.
A little smile there from Josh Erling, Glacier Peak. I don't know if that was to mom, potential girlfriend, or aunt, uncle.
It's on TV.
Yeah, he smiled for TV. Look at that smile. They say I have a face for radio, so he might have a face for TV.
How much fun is this?
This is a lot of fun.
As a wrestler.
The tournament, or me to be up here not wrestling?
I don't care about you. I'm the guys out there.
Oh, this is so much fun, and I love that they do that. They turn the lights out. They do the spotlight. They're on display, which is so rewarding when you put so much work in the season to be out here and to be honored for what you're doing. And so, you have all these other wrestlers wishing they were on the middle mat, right? This is the pinnacle. They are all talking about the Mat Classic, right? That you want to be on center stage. This is what you train for. This is why you get up in the morning and go on a run when everyone else is sleeping, because otherwise you're just crazy. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing those push-ups? Why are you sweating and crying and going to these camps and putting in the work? It's for moments like these. And this moment isn't very long. It's a 6-minute match. You put in hours and hours and hours and hours and years and many miles of traveling to get here for 6 minutes. And looks like it's paying off here for Josh Erling as he is getting some near fall.
And now, where are you with this arm, bending back like that?
So he's needing to separate that arm from the body so that he can't use it as a
literally
kickstand.
separate the arm from the body?
Not the shoulder, but hopefully that hand get that further away. Okay, it looks like it's not very tight. He might get a couple points here, but it's too loose to get a fall. He's going to readjust.
10 seconds to go. Second period, 4-0 lead for Erling.
Oh, wow. And he sunk that in here with 2 seconds to go for a fall. Very awesome when you can get that fall right at the last few seconds.
He smiled, but he pinned.
He pinned, yeah. He's happy about that. His coaches are happy. Secured that pin. You see Mossberg going over to congratulate him. Oh, look at that hug. Yep, so proud.
Yeah, so Josh Erling, I'm thinking ranked number 11 in 4A in the state. He's thinking about some damage down at the Tacoma Dome.
He is, you know, and you know, as you saw, he's really happy about this victory, but this is not what he's been training for all year. Top 11 is great, but they only place top 8 at state. So he knows that he has to do some work if he's going to end up with a medal.
And we're going to check in down with Josh here in just a moment with the winner at 195, Josh Erling. And Josh, you're telling him to take a breath, right? Let's go down to you.
Yeah, Josh, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Pretty exciting win?
Yes, very excited. Beat me or caught me last tournament, last time I faced him. But I was just so focused. I mean, it took like a 30-minute nap, and I was just focused, running back and forth, just focused on how I'm going to win. And I believe in my abilities, believe in what Coach told me to do, and I just won. And it's an awesome feeling, and I'm just glad I just, got the victory and full send, and I won. And I'm just happy,
Congrats. So what was the plan going in?
Well, like I'm more of a shooter, right? I like to shoot and score with that, but like I wrestled the other guy, and first the coach gave him a game plan of just first time, and I was going to be smart about it. I was going to wait for him to make an error. He did. Got to get double. I scored, and then I just out-wrestled him. And I believe myself. My coach, Chris Mossberg, told me it's a great emotional win, and I was very happy about this.
All right, so I saw you get pretty excited out there. What's it like when you slip that half in and you hear the whistle and get that pin? What's that feeling like?
There's no other better feeling. I mean, it was just emotional. I thank God and got the opportunity, and this is my first time I win. And I really wanted to win, and I get in, and I won. It felt better than anything,
Yeah, I got 2 more questions for you. What's the goal at the end of the season?
I'm gonna be a state placer, top 5 state placer. Write it down on my notebook every day, and I want to be a top 5 state placer. I know I can, so just keep working on that goal. Go to morning practice, just work hard and practice every day, and it feels great.
All right, Josh, I'm proud of you. So one last question: What are you gonna eat tonight when you get home? First thing.
Me and my dad are gonna get some like burgers or something, man. So something good, like burgers and fries or something. I don't know. I like that a lot.
Gonna get a milkshake?
Maybe. I don't know, man. Can I get some good? Maybe some good burgers or like Wendy's or something. I don't know, man. Just eat something good,
All right. Well, congrats on your first tournament win and good luck at state.
I got a sweatshirt and I'm gonna place at state. Thank you for everything.
Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Josh. I love that. He was excited.
Oh, winning a tournament adds confidence. It adds validity. He said it. Hey, I believed in what my coaches were saying. I believed in what I'd been training for. And that win adds validity, saying, hey, you know what? I am doing something right. It adds confidence so that, it's one more boost of confidence as he's entering into a tough state tournament where he's trying to do better than what the predictions are. He's predicted, top 11 in the state. So he's going to have to have a really good tournament and get in the top 5. I love that he was writing down his goals. He was really excited. That's the great thing about this sport. So exciting.
And Josh, you can jump in on this one too. How much do you know who you're going to wrestle? Like, who are you going to meet down at Matt Classic? How much do you know those guys?
Honestly, you don't get to see a lot of the wrestlers from the 3 other regions. The state's made up of, I believe it's still made up of 4 regions.
Yep.
And you don't get to see much of the other 4 regions. So I mean, you can look at the boards and the rankings and see how they move, but you don't know much about these guys until you see them at the Matt Classic, unless you were there a year beforehand or you're fortunate enough to be on a team that travels and goes to some of the tournaments that the best teams around across the state will be going to. So much of it is a surprise.
Well, but here's another question, Stefan. How old you are? Been out of this for 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Social media.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I remember, looking at the Washington Wrestling Report. It was an old blog website, and that was pretty much the only way that you saw things. You had MySpace back then. You didn't really see much wrestling on there. At least I didn't. But nowadays, yeah, you're really seeing kids can post their videos, right? So now you know you're going to wrestle someone. You might look at his Facebook in the stands and see, if he has a picture of him ripped, muscles or whatever it is, and then also, I'm sure that goes into intimidation as well. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure you could reach out to someone and start talking smack and really, starting to, set that tone. But it was always you always see the results of, oh man, that guy. I always see his name. I always see his name on the top of the podium, hearing reports. And so I'm sure social media is adding to the mental game where, again, you're up against this amazing wrestler and you build it up in your head and you really got to focus on, again, like I said, what you do really well and try to get that stuff out of your head the best that you can.
So, Josh, that the same, or is there a time where it's like, I'm sick of hearing about that guy. I just got to go out and kick his butt.
Sometimes. Sort of depends on the people around you. I was on a team where a coach never wanted to talk about the other guy.
That's good.
He never, if he heard us talking about your opponents, he would quell that right away. It matters much more about your approach and what you're taking into the match than what the other guy's doing. So
I like that.
Never really got to hear about the other guys a whole lot.
All right, we're moving to 220. We're just about ready to wrap it up here at the Panther Classic. We've got Michael Fiskin from Oak Harbor and Jose Parra from Mariner set to go here at the 220. And we're about set to get underway here for the championship. You got the 285s left, so the penultimate match here of the Panther Classic. Michael Fiskin, Oak Harbor, Jose Parra of Mariner. Here we go at 220. There really is the biggest jump, really, until you get to the heavyweight guys.
It is, yeah. That's about 25-pound difference between the 195s to the 220. So these guys could even weigh. So now, yep, the ref will stop that. So these guys really can weigh, 196, 197, 199, 200, 25, all the way up to 215. So you might see a bigger change here. I know depending on, who you have on your lineup, if you have a really good 195-pounder, that you might bump them up to 220. And so, and then, yeah, these guys probably play football, they're stronger, they're you're going to see a lot more upper body with these guys since they do a lot of hand fighting with football, a lot of hand fighting. Also for the weight difference, too. You don't want to take a shot and get underneath because, the use of gravity and the weight really adds to the dynamics of this style of wrestling. So you're going to see a lot more hand fighting here.
We're not quite a minute into the first period here of the championship match. The third and fifth place matches are both done.
Yeah, so
pin.
Yeah, this is a weight class where you might see a lot of pins. The little guys and the bigs, you see the most pins, I would say, because you see a bigger discrepancy in strength. And then also for here you have weight. So once one of those 220-pound guys gets on someone else's back, that's a lot more weight adding to the strength that you can do to hold someone down. And so, yeah, I would say you see a lot of pins at the bigs and the littles, just as far as, the weight difference there.
Jose Parra of Mariner Now the official still saying no advantage, right?
He looked like he wanted to. I didn't see him. Oh, he did. He did a sign. Right? We're in the first period, and one guy's going down, so there should be 2 points there. Looks like they haven't awarded it. Unless I'm mistaken. But, yeah, it looks like 2 points, but the table didn't get that.
Yeah, you can see the guys over the table kind of going two.
Yeah, they'll award it here.
So down to 12 seconds to go in the first period. The Mariner wrestler running out of bounds. It's still 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's going to go down as 2-0 right now. But, you know, at this point, no one cares because everyone knows that it's 2-0 except the table. They're the only ones outside the loop here. So the coaches aren't concerned because they just want some more points here as the round's ending. Now you'll see coaches start looking at, you know, scoreboard, and so now's an appropriate time to have that discussion.
Yeah, the official over the scorekeeper on the table.
Yeah.
And that's another one of those places when you walk in the gym and say, hey, can you keep score? You run the other way. It's like, can you run the 30-second clock or 35-second shot clock? No.
Yeah, and this sport relies on volunteers, and so we're very thankful for those moms and dads and you know, fans of this sport that love to see these athletes compete, and they're willing to help out. Sometimes you see wrestlers who aren't wrestling the tournament. Maybe they're sick, hurt, JV, varsity. You know, you might see different wrestlers add to that volunteering.
In fact, I don't see Josh down there. I was going to see if he can grab Coach Mark Perry to ask him to thank his volunteers for helping out with the Panther Classic every year. Yeah. We'll grab Coach Perry if we can find him, if he's not unplugging a toilet or moving the hot dogs and the pizza. Not at the same time, I hope.
The duties of an athletic director. You're really a servant of the school, and Mark Perry does a great job. Okay, we're seeing some action here.
So it wasn't, and there's a pin for Michael Fiskin of Oak Harbor. He gets the win over Jose Parra of Mariner.
Second round. Middle of the second round, and again, yeah, we saw another fall, another pin on that 220. So everyone in that 220 match, there was a pin.
And so Fiskin of Oak Harbor will get the win, and now we're going to go to the heavyweights here, and the final match of the afternoon here at Snohomish High School. And it's Quincy Salou of Decatur, 4A, number 1 ranked wrestler at 285. In the old days, they called it HVY for heavy or UNL for unlimited, right?
That's right. And it was unlimited. You could have a 500, you know. Well, back then you probably had 300, 350, you know. That was impressive. Clearly in high school, with safety as a big concern, these are student athletes. They did put a limit on it, so we have 285 as that top limit. If you're 286, you can't wrestle in this bracket. You have to make sure you're within 285. And this again, so now we have 220, from 220 to 285. So now you have, what is that, 65-pound spread. You could have a 230-pound wrestler wrestling a 285-pound wrestler.
And we just about had the tripod go down for Josh. And so we're going to hear from Michael Fiskin of Oak Harbor in a moment, as we're going to be introducing, I'm not sure if they're quite ready to do the lights off yet.
Yeah, we might wait. Wait for the lights to come back on here.
So Quincy Salou, the number 1 ranked wrestler in the state of Washington at 285. Jody Natoa from Mariner in the final match here at 285, the Panther Classic, as they will introduce the wrestlers. Again, Josh said it the other night when I asked him about doing this, the best part of this tournament is it's like being at a WWE, right?
That's right. Yeah, we celebrate the accomplishments and the hard work of these athletes, so they get a run out here. The songs playing, you know, what you do when you walk out there, you know, if you look confident like you know what you're doing, that all adds to the mental edge of this game.
Tripping over the edge of the mat, not good?
Yeah, that's not a good start to the match. You might be a little flustered. And, of course, you cannot see in that spotlight. You cannot see at all. And everyone can see you, but you can't.
Run to the light.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to get underway with the big boys here. Quincy Salou of Decatur, Jody Natoa of Mariner, another big boy with a win. Michael Fiskin of Oak Harbor. He's with Josh St. Marie down on the floor.
All right, Micah, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Wrestle a lot of matches to get here today?
Yes, 4 matches today.
You tired?
Yeah.
Sleep good?
Yeah, I'm going to sleep really good tonight.
All right, so what was your plan going into that match?
I knew he liked to throw, so I was trying to bait a throw, have him slip up and get a takedown off of that. I just ended up getting a takedown myself and then just pinned him from there.
All right. Coach can be pretty happy about this win?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Have you won a lot of tournaments?
Yeah, I won one last year.
What was it?
The Shoreline Invitational.
Which one's harder?
This one, definitely. Definitely this one.
All right, so we're talking about the lights coming down, how unique this tournament is with the spotlight. And can you tell me about how that makes you feel, just like running out there? What are your thoughts going through your head during those times?
Well, I mean, it felt really special, because not a lot of tournaments or stuff puts on this type of show. So it just felt unique and like once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I totally get that feeling. So what's your postseason goal?
Place in state, top 3.
Top 3 in state. All right, and when you get home tonight, what's the first thing you're going to eat?
A milkshake, chocolate milkshake.
A chocolate milkshake. All right, well, congratulations on the win and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you.
I'm sensing a trend here.
That's right.
I did not tell him to say that.
You didn't plant that one?
I did not.
Well, the championship is over, and it didn't take very long for the win.
Yeah, so Quincy Salou from Decatur definitely earned the reputation of number 1 seed, number 1 ranked wrestler in the state of Washington. And you typically see that, like I said, in those heavyweights and lightweights, you see pins. But if you see a dominant wrestler like Quincy Salou, I can't imagine that he doesn't pin a lot of guys. I bet he has a lot of pins for this year. Really quick, dominant performance. We didn't get to see him, really challenged, but it'll be exciting to see him here at state. I'm sure that was, quite a tournament here for him today.
Were you ranked number 1?
I was, and I say that it's because everyone else graduated. By the time that I became a senior,
it's a clerical thing,
yeah,
right? we kept moving up, and they're all gone.
That's right. Yeah, I was. My senior year, yeah, and that's weird because everyone expects you to win, so everyone roots for the underdog. So it's more fun not to be ranked number 1, and to upset those tough kids. So, but yeah, looks like he doing pretty good.
We're gonna go to Quincy Salou with Josh St. Marie out of Decatur. Got a big pin right there.
Yeah, how's your day going, Quincy?
It's going really good. Having a lot of fun today.
Is this your? This can't be your first tournament win of the season.
No, sir. It's my 3rd tournament.
All right, got to count them up there for a minute.
For a little bit, and then I couldn't wrestle for a couple weeks, so I missed a couple tournaments.
What happened? Were you hurt?
No, I had a sinus infection that started out as a flu, and it kind of, it had an impact on my.
Glad to see you all better. So, how have you done in the past at state?
I'd say I did all right. I want to do better, so that's what I'm gonna do this year.
What have you placed previously?
Last year I took 2nd in state at 285, and the previous year I took 8th. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. I took 8th in state at 220.
All right, so
ask him about having a target on his back at number 1, ranked number 1.
So, are you aware you're ranked number 1 right now?
I am not.
Yeah, so you are. Do you feel like there's a target on your back? Do you feel like people wrestle hard when they wrestle you? They're gunning for you.
I feel like everybody wrestles as hard as they can against anybody else. For me, I hope that I can wrestle as hard as I can, like throughout the entire season, and not underestimate anybody, because the moment I do that, I'm pretty sure that's the moment I'll fall.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations today. One more question. What are you going to eat when you get home? First thing.
Oh, I'm going to eat everything in my fridge. I'm trying to gain weight.
What's in your fridge?
I think I have some pork and beef in my fridge. So
pork and beef
Well,
when he gets home.
you know, he just said he's trying to gain weight. Where is he at now then?
What's that?
He wrestled at 285, but he doesn't weigh 285, right?
All right, so you're trying to gain some weight. What do you weigh in today?
Around 243 right now. I'm trying to get up to at least 260 by the end of the year.
Wow. So I believe you can do it. You're pretty impressive. Congratulations on the win, and good luck in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And Josh, are we out of shirts?
We're out of shirts. We've given them all out.
Okay. All right. And I think we're done here. Tell me, Josh, your final impressions on the Panther Classic here for 2018.
Figure out a way to enter the tournament and wrestle again.
Stefan, you ready to get back out there?
That was a fun tournament to watch. What a great chance to watch a #1 ranked wrestler here, that final match. Yeah, all these guys wrestled hard. Win or lose, they should go celebrate in their hard work and get ready for this postseason.
And it looks like Decatur will take the team championship as they end up now with about a 14-point lead over Glacier Peak in second place. Kamiak in third. Oak Harbor ends up in fourth. Arlington in fifth. Snohomish, the home team, at 124 points, will end up in sixth place. And so that is it. Thanks again to Todd Elvig from STSPN. Josh St. Marie, thank you. Stefan St. Marie, thank you. Good luck
Tom.
down the road. That's it. The Panther Classic for 2018 is over. I'm Tom Lafferty. Thanks for being with us right here on STSPN.com. Good night, everybody.